to a treatment facility in Chicago, but must be on an ankle monitor. Hartman faces charges stemming from a January incident, which she got past security at O'Hare and boarded a London-bound flight without a ticket. A candidate for Chicago mayor gets a surprise endorsement. Former Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy is getting the support of community activist Andrew Holmes. A pair of Illinois Congress members will help decide the next farm bill. Republican Rodney Davis and Democrat Cheri Bustos yesterday say they've been named to the joint House and Senate committee that will write the next law, dealing with both farm subsidies and food and nutrition programs. It's Davis's second time on the critical Farm Bill Committee. The Illinois State Police have a new anniversary logo. Troopers unveiled that logo, including the outline of a saluting trooper inside the number 100. The logo, designed by IDOT employee Aaron Rath, will be used on all commemorative badges and patches for the Illinois State Police's 100th anniversary in 2022. Cubs return from the All-Star break tonight with the opener of a 5-game series against the rival Cardinals at Wrigley. The White Sox will have to wait another day to get back on the diamond. Sox open a 3-game set against the Mariners in Seattle tomorrow night. Bears veterans report to training camp today. First practice will actually be held on Saturday. The News Service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving for victims of drunk and drug driving. Their grief is unique, but you are not alone. MAD is here to help. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP, or MADD.org. 507, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
As press secretary for President Trump, Sean Spicer had a front row seat to history. And in his new book, he reveals details about what really happened behind the scenes during the campaign and the early days of the administration. On Wednesday, August 8th, Sean Spicer is coming to Chicago. Meet Sean Spicer and get a copy of his new book, The Briefing, at the Museum of Broadcast Communications. Tickets are absolutely free. Thanks to healthinsurancementors.com. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/briefing. That's 560theanswer.com/briefing.
A wise man once said that being the best is not a spectator sport. Nothing will change in life if you don't do something about it. So if you have the chance to become better, sharper, and much more productive, why wouldn't you? Today, modern technology reveals an amazing discovery that has led to a breakthrough experts are calling the nirvana we've all been searching for. It's called Limitless, the Smart Pill. Limitless is a major leap in the world of supplements used to boost the power of your brain. Get it, take it, experience a dramatic change in your life. Feel amazing. And once you do it with Limitless, you'll do anything to take it again and bring back the better version of you. Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Limitless and this extraordinary experience for yourself.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Limitless, call 800-605-1653. That's 800-605-1653. Get your free bottle for a limited time. Call now, 800-605-1653, 800-605-1653.
Mayhem is everywhere.
On the leaky pipe you decided to repair yourself. That's right. You watched one online video and thought, yeah, that's something I could do. So you did. Tighten me right up. And here we are a few weeks later. You come home from a weekend away and, hey, I made you a lake. You've always wanted a house on the water, right? Well, now your basement is filled with it. And if you've got the wrong home insurance, you might be swimming in bills to clean up this mess. So get Allstate, where agents help protect you from mayhem. Like me.
Get help with home insurance from someone who lives right nearby. Call Hinsdale Allstate agent Madeline Lopresti today and ask about Claim Rate Guard. Your rate won't go up just because you file a claim. Call Madeline Lopresti today. Feature is optional, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
See what the personal service of an Allstate agent can do for you. Are you in good hands?
Did you know that you could drive 5 different brand new Metro Fords for less than $8 per day? Metro Ford introduces the Easy Ford Upgrade Program. It's easy, it's fast, and And you could be driving the nicer, newer vehicle you deserve for less than $8 per day. Now's the time to upgrade to a new Ford Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, EcoSport, or Escape for less than $8 per day at Metro Ford. All credit is considered and no proof of income is needed. Metro Ford specializes in drivers with fixed incomes, including Social Security, disability, and retirement. Good credit, bad credit, or no credit. See Metro Ford today and drive today. Metro Ford is located at 6455 Southwestern Avenue in Chicago. Or visit Metro Ford online today at emetroford.com. Since 1984, Metro Fords are everywhere. Make the easy upgrade and put one in your driveway. emetroford.com.
5:11 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. It's time to call Permaseal 800-421-SEAL. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim Talamonte this morning, here's Dominic Fortini.
Good morning, Mike. Things, for the most part, looking good across our Chicago area roadways, but we got a problem on the outbound side of the Kennedy. 2 left lanes are blocked off right near Grand because of a serious crash involving multiple vehicles and a motorcycle. It's slowing down back to Randolph. We got some injuries on the scene as well, again, blocking off 2 left lanes. Outbound side of the Kennedy, right near Grand. The inbound side still unaffected at 20 minutes, O'Hare into downtown. Meanwhile, the Eisenhower and Stevenson looking good. Ryan, okay, 15 minutes in either direction. On the outbound side, you've got the on-ramp closed at 87th until 6. The rest of our Chicago area roadways still moving well. Traffic's a service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you could be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty by becoming a Compassion International child sponsor. You could choose a child to sponsor now at compassion.com/radio. That's compassion.com/radio. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly sunny, high 80. Tonight partly cloudy, low 63. Tomorrow some sunshine will give way to clouds, high 85, and an overcast night with a late night shower, low 70. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
This hour, as we approach sunrise along the lakefront, it is 70, 68 at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, Trump is continuing to stir the pot when it comes to Russia. A couple of moments yesterday of interest. One, sort of a offhanded comment in the context of a cabinet meeting.
Yeah, which one? I can't get my head is spinning right now.
Asked by a poll reporter whether Russia is still targeting the United States, the president said, thank you very much. No.
Or then they said, or was he telling reporters to go? Because then Sarah Sanders tried to clear that. No, he was saying you need to go.
Uh-huh.
Or did he say, I listened to it 5 times.
Thank you very much. No.
Thank you very much. No, go is what I heard.
Uh-huh. Is this like that stupid thing we were doing 2 weeks ago with, what are the 2 words again? Is it, a
homophone? Wait.
No, the 2 words where people were hearing different words.
Oh.
I mean, they couldn't have been.
Coffee. No.
Mike
knows.
Scott,
Mike, thank
please
God.
help.
Surrender. Yeah.
Laurel and Yanni.
Oh, Laurel and Yanni. Yeah, Laurel Yanni. Exactly.
Yanni.
No, go.
No.
Laurel Yanni. Which do you hear? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. So that was one issue. And then I thought his interview with Jeff Glor for CBS Evening News was not terribly problematic. It sort of reiterated his clarification from the day before. For example, President Trump tackling the issue of Russian meddling and who's responsible. It seemed to be pretty straightforward.
You say you agree with U.S. intelligence that Russia meddled in the election in 2016.
Yeah, and I've said that before, Jeff. I have said that numerous times before. And I would say that that is true, yeah.
But you haven't condemned Putin specifically. Do you hold him personally responsible?
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
Okay. Well, but if we could just sort of rinse and repeat that 30-second exchange, I think we'd really get ourselves out of a lot of trouble and avoid a lot of unnecessary consternation. Trump went on also in that interview to give Glore a little bit, and the American people by extension, a little bit of insight in terms of what he said to Putin about Russian interference.
We're not going to have it, and that's the way it's going to be.
But he denies it. So if you believe U.S. intelligence agencies, is Putin lying to you?
I don't want to get into whether or not he's lying. I can only say that I do have confidence in our intelligence agencies as currently constituted. I think that Dan Coats is excellent. I think that Gina is excellent. I think we have excellent people in the agencies. And when they tell me something, it means a lot.
Those answers don't seem to rise to the level of a 911 emergency.
Who in the world is interviewing him?
Jeff Glore from CBS News.
Oh, the Dan Rather replacement? I don't know who these people are. I've never even heard of them.
Who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, they're interchangeable parts. But that's the guy's
Some random
name.
white guy with a clean haircut.
It doesn't seem to me that those answers rise to the level of a 9/11 emergency, which is how Connecticut Senator Dick Blumenthal is describing the current state of play in the United States. We are in a 9/11 emergency. And, of course, the calls for hearings and the like. Trump also did, though, not exactly reiterate his clarification, his contraction-retraction, although, with Trump, he's always going to give himself high marks, but with respect to his view of his performance at that press conference in question.
Let me just, I totally disagree. I think I did great at the news conference. I think it was a strong news conference. You have people that said you should have gone up to him, you should have walked up and started screaming in his face. We're living in the real world, okay?
Okay. No, we are living in the real world, there's no question. I don't know that anybody was requiring him to go up and scream in Putin's face. I think we just wanted those who are, not suffering from the proverbial Trump derangement syndrome. I think we just wanted him to give answers like the first two clips we played.
Right.
And
they
then
were solid, strong answers. I liked what I heard.
And
Yeah, it's
then-
different than the last 2 days. That's all right.
I believe our
Third time's a charm, right?
Russia interfered in the 2016 election. That's clear. I believe our intelligence agencies. I told Putin that we're not going to have it. We're taking steps to prevent Russia or any other adversary from interfering in the elections in 2018 and into the future. And that would have buttoned it up nicely.
The one issue we can't seem to solve is the Yanni Lani.
Laurel.
Laurel.
You can't even-
Laurel.
That's Laurel.
That's Laurel.
Yeah.
So is it no go, go no, or no no?
The first thing that the president said after the question was asked was "thank you very much," and then he said, "No, I'm not answering any more questions."
But why should this president have any credibility to Americans in what he says if, in fact, 24 hours later, or in this case, 3 hours later, the White House comes out and says, just kidding?
First of all, that's not what I said. I was interpreting what the president's intention was and stating the administration's policy.
They even asked her.
Trump whisperer.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of a president, any politician, clarifying a remark after the fact, not exactly groundbreaking stuff here. So the D.C. press corps is also a bit over the top when it comes to this. But I don't know, I just go back and look at the first couple of minutes of that interview with Jeff Glore on CBS Evening News, Mr. President, and just stay in that pocket. That's a good pocket. Stay right there.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, why one kid rescued from the cave is afraid he's going to be grounded. But first, here's your forecast. Today, some sunshine, some clouds, a little bit warmer than yesterday, a high of 83 degrees. Tonight, we could have a passing shower or thunderstorm, a low of 69. And then for Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, more humid, a shower and thunderstorm likely, a high of 78 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Dominic Fortini in for Jim Telemonte.
In Glenview, we've got a crash at Shermer and Glenview Road. Also a structure fire blazing in Riverdale. It's along Halstead, a little bit east of 142nd, but we're keeping our eye on the outbound side of the Kennedy. That's where we've got heavy delays already because of an earlier crash involving a motorcycle as well as multiple cars. It's right near Grand. So 2 left lanes are blocked off as crews attend that. The outbound trip already 18 minutes downtown to Montrose, 28 out to O'Hare. Inbound looking at only 20 minutes. Meanwhile, the Eisenhower and Stevenson look good. Inbound Ryan, 2 left lanes blocked with a new accident right near 71st. On the outbound side, you've got that on-ramp shut down at 87th. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Well, did you hear? Our 45th president, President Trump, sleeps on a MyPillow. That's right. He endorsed owner and creator of MyPillow, Mike Lindell, when he was at that rally in Fargo last month. And he recognized him and endorsed him on national TV. I love that you can move the fill to get the support you need, regardless if you sleep on your back or stomach. And you never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. MyPillow, as you know, is made in America, washable, dryable, 10-year warranty, plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. And right now we still have the buy one, get one free offer for the month of July. I just bought a king-size MyPillow and got the second one for free. It was glorious. And why did I get it? Because I typed Amy, A-M-Y, in that promo code. Go to MyPillow.com, where you'll also have can get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper, pet beds, sheets that I love, and much more. MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Did you know that you could drive 5 different brand new Metro Fords for less than $8 per day? Metro Ford introduces the Easy Ford Upgrade Program. It's easy, it's fast, and you could be driving the nicer, newer vehicle you deserve for less than $8 per day. Now's the time to upgrade to a new Ford Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, EcoSport, or Escape for less than $8 per day at Metro Ford. All credit is considered and no proof of income is needed. Metro Ford specializes in drivers with fixed incomes, including Social Security, disability, and retirement. Good credit, bad credit, or no credit. See Metro Ford today and drive today. Metro Ford is located at 6455 Southwestern Avenue in Chicago. Or visit Metro Ford online today at emetroford.com. Since 1984, Metro Fords are everywhere. Make the easy upgrade and put one in your driveway. emetroford.com. Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Early 20th century scholar Henry Louis Mencken once said, "Socialism, nothing more than the theory that the slave is always more virtuous than his master." That certainly summarizes class warfare.
I know you support companies that share your conservative values. For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, from experienced quality control and quality assurance engineers to top validation and compliance experts. Depend on Automated Systems. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI Resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at Automated Systems, toll-free 844-HIRE-ASI, or visit automatedsys.com.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM 560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM 560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-10 1091. That's 773-244-1091. Or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I like you.
I like you, my dear.
America is falling in love with Mr. Rogers again. Entertainment Weekly raves. It's the movie we need right now.
Fred's theology was love your neighbor and love yourself. It was a communication right into their hearts.
Mr. Rogers' faith has inspired us all.
Thank you for whatever you do to bring joy and faith to our world today.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now in theaters everywhere.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-566-7906 now for your free reputation analysis. Our dedicated experts and patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-566-7906 to learn more or visit ReputationDefender.com. AM 560.
The Answer. Dan and Amy, and stories still coming out about the rescue of that soccer team from the cave in Thailand.
Yeah. They made their first public appearance yesterday. It was a 90-minute press conference. Medical staff were sitting next to them, and they pre-screened the questions because they didn't want to create any trauma for the boys. But they talked about how they went in. They went in there just because some of the soccer kids, some of the players had never been inside a cave. So the coach said, all right, let's go. So they were hiking in for about an hour and then realized, all right, it's time to go. And when they were walking out, the floodwaters had risen. So they didn't know what to do. So they went back 200 yards to find a place to sleep. And then they wanted to return to that spot the next day. But then that spot was flooded. They survived by drinking clean water off the walls. So they literally would lick the walls to get water. All of them lost between 6 to 10 pounds.
How many of them were eaten by other members of the team?
They didn't have an alive moment. No, they didn't have to do that. But and they just, when the rescuers finally came to them and found them, one kid thought he was hallucinating, when that British diver found them.
The pedo guy, according to Elon Musk.
The pedophile. Yeah, Elon Musk, shame on him. But one kid thought that he was, one of the 14-year-olds thought that he was afraid to go home, and he told the nurse because he lied to his mom and told her that he was going to play soccer instead of going in a cave. So he thought he was going to be grounded. And the lady said, the nurse said, don't worry, you're not going to be grounded. You're going to be fine.
But you're used to being in isolation.
Oh, in Thailand? Well, I was going to blog some of the bites.
No, I mean in the cave.
Oh, in a cave. Oh, yeah.
You're in your room, you're locked in a cave. The other thing I saw, which was interesting about that, how they decided the order which the boys would swim out. Mm-hmm. It wasn't based on ability to get out of the cave, who's the strongest swimmer. Yeah. Stuff. It was based on who lives the closest. It went farthest to closest from the cave for the bike ride home.
Are you serious?
That's what they did. That's the story out about that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got, you got the longest commute, so I guess you can go first.
You can go first. No, they decided whoever was strongest, because none of them knew how to swim. They taught them how to swim there.
No, there's a story.
Really?
I'm not making that up. There's a story.
Whoever lives closest,
that it was based on distance from the cave. That was the order in which they swam out.
Well, all the kids say they want to be professional soccer players, but now they all said yesterday they want to become Navy SEALs.
Well, that's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Much better.
And I know that you don't care, but somebody else out there might. They did get to see the World Cup final game because they missed the whole World Cup tournament.
Did that end?
Yes, it did. And France won 4-2 over. Who did they play, Dan?
Madagascar? I don't know.
Croatia.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, I say we
spin the wheel.
Pick up the conversation about the poster child for the Democratic Party, the new face, the new leader of the Democratic Party, AOC, as she's called on the street. She's got more to say than about topics other than the Middle East, like, say, capitalism.
Oh.
538.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
68 degrees in Chicago at 5:30. President Trump insisting he did tell Russian President Vladimir Putin we can't have meddling.
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
In an interview with CBS News, the president says he was strong on that point during one-on-one talks with Putin on Monday. More than 20 soldiers are recovering. They were injured when a tent collapsed at an Army base along the central California coast. The Army says a helicopter coming into land kicked up dirt and caused that tent structure to collapse, injuring 22 soldiers at Fort Hunter Liggett. Fire crews in Oregon struggling to contain a fast-spreading deadly wildfire. The substation fire is burning east of the Dales in northern Oregon. It's torched about 45,000 acres, and several small communities have been evacuated. One person has been found dead. A prison inmate is accused of killing a corrections officer at Minnesota's Stillwater prison. Edward Mohammed Johnson attacked Officer Joseph Gam yesterday. He died later at a nearby hospital. The incident has prompted a temporary lockdown of all state prisons. Johnson was serving a 29-year sentence for second-degree murder. Baltimore is the first major U.S. city to ban sugary drinks from restaurant kids' menus. Baltimore making the move to combat what they see as a major childhood obesity problem. Hundreds are without a home here in the Chicago area after a massive blaze tore through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights. Authorities have identified the 14-year-old boy killed in a drive-by shooting on the south side. Tobias Robinson was standing in the street yesterday in the 6700 block of South Winchester when someone in a passing white vehicle fired shots. That so-called serial stowaway is no longer in custody while she awaits trial. Cook County judge ruling yesterday Marilyn Hartman is fit to stand trial. She allowed Hartman to be released to a treatment facility, but she must wear an ankle monitor. Musician Billy Joel has reached a major milestone after his 100th performance at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
I'm from New York. I was born in the Bronx. I grew up in Long Island. So this is my venue, Madison Square Garden. Fortunately for me, Madison Square Garden is a world venue.
Last night's record-breaking show included a surprise appearance by Bruce Springsteen, who joined Joel on stage for a couple of songs. Joel has performed at Madison Square Garden more than any other recording artist. Chicago sports, Cubs return from the All-Star break tonight with the opener of a 5-game set against the rival Cardinals at Wrigley Field. Bears veterans reporting to training camp today. The news, a service of Unbound.org. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer, an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at Unbound.org. 5:33. Let's get an update on traffic in just a moment on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher sees a rocky future for the Dems.
The way the Democrats are behaving right now, they're going to drive people right into the arms of the Republican Party, and the Democrats are not going to take the House. I mean, really, come on. Can we be real? Do today's Democrats want to be socialists across the board? Well, if they do, okay. There's a lot more of us than there are of them.
Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
5:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And in for Jim, here's Dominic.
On the outbound side of the Kennedy this morning, had that earlier crash right near Grand involving a motorcycle as well as multiple cars. Crews made quick work of that, and they've reopened the lanes there. We had a couple of lanes shut down, but already some backups. 20 minutes downtown to Montrose, 30 minutes if you're headed out to O'Hare. The inbound side looking good at 20 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. That was also messing with traffic on the inbound Ryan, where we've got brake lights coming on right about the ballpark at 35th. Already 38 minutes, 95th into downtown. This is all because of that crash that was on the outbound side of the Kennedy. Inbound Ike taps the brakes 25th into Des Plaines. Inbound Stevenson, a minor delay. Central to Kedzie, 40 minutes in from 355, while the inbound Bishop Ford starts to tighten up right near 111. Traffic's a service of unbound.org. A more peaceful, healthy world happens one person at a time around the globe. There are children who dream of helping their families, who hope for the future, and who have a name. Know the person you're helping directly at unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, sunshine gives way to afternoon clouds. We may see a late day shower or thunderstorm, especially in the western suburbs, a high of 83. Currently 68 at O'Hare. Your next news at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Question our own intelligence, but never believe Putin or Kim Jong-un. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So I'm a bit confused here. I don't know what to do. Maybe you can help me out. Our friend Jim Comey, he's a former FBI director.
Yeah. Did you read his book?
No. The Republican Congress has proven incapable of fulfilling the founders' design that ambition must counteract ambition. All who believe in this country's values must vote for Democrats this fall. Policy differences don't matter right now. History has its eyes on us. Policy differences don't matter right now. So
you think he was biased in his work, or
so
this newfound love came after he got kicked out of office?
Excuse me, this man has a higher loyalty.
Excuse
to
you.
the Democratic Party, and I'm so. On the one hand, I'm being admonished to vote for the Democrats this fall. History is looking at me.
Yeah. They're watching you.
I feel naked with history peering at me, leering at me.
Stop looking at me that way. Please, history.
And then on the other hand, you got the head of the Democratic Party, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's going to be a member of Congress in January. And she's saying, the capitalism I've enjoyed so much is going away. More of AOC on firing line.
Now, the economy is going pretty strong, right? There's roughly 4% unemployment, 3.9% unemployment. Do you think that capitalism has failed to deliver for working class Americans, or is no longer the best vehicle for working class Americans?
Well, I think the numbers that you just talked about is part of the problem, right? Because we look at these figures and we say, oh, unemployment is low, everything is fine, right? Well, unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs. Unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their kids. And so I do think that right now, when we have this no-holds-barred, Wild West hyper-capitalism, what that means is profit at any cost. Capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world.
The proletariat revolution is upon us. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. with history looking at us, is it okay if we embrace Democrat control of Congress so Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez can drive us into the Xanadu that is post-capitalist America? What do you think? I think it's exciting times. Should we vote Democrat?
Who is talking? They both sound like little girls.
Well,
the interviewer and the...
That was Margaret Hoover on that kind of reconstituted firing line show, which is obviously pales in comparison to Buckley's program. But nonetheless, she got Ocasio-Cortez, and she got her to opine on a range of issues. We heard her on the Middle East earlier in the week. Now we hear her on capitalism.
The Palestinian occupation camps, or what was she?
Right, the occupied territory. Now we hear on this topic, and capitalism got to be the hyper-capitalism, not just capitalism, has to be pushed aside. This has raised concerns among some Democrats. Mentioned Joe Lieberman penned an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that yesterday, and he went on Fox Business with Charles Payne to talk about it yesterday as well.
And if her win makes her into what Kellyanne Conway called the new face of the Democratic Party is not going to have a very bright future.
But do you...
Wow.
Ooh.
Dissension in the ranks. That future may be a little bit better because they got a new slogan. The Democrats have unveiled their slogan for the midterms.
Oh, okay.
You ready for it?
Okay. Or should we take calls with what people think it should be? Well, no.
Well, you can see if you can improve on this. I doubt it.
Well, let me write it down.
But you can see if you can improve on this if you'd like.
I'm ready. Excuse me.
You ready?
I'm ready.
The 2018 Democratic Party midterm election slogan is... Thank you, Maestro. For the people.
What?
Didn't get the rousing reaction
I'm sorry.
I was expecting.
For the people?
For the people.
That's so bad. For the people?
For the people.
What? We're for the people.
Mm-hmm.
For the people shall decide. For the people shall be victorious when you vote Democratic. What? It needs something else.
That you don't think that's saucy enough?
No, that's horrible.
How do you think it compares?
For the people.
How do you think it compares to their previous slogan, which they scrapped? Better deal.
Oh, that's what.
Better deal.
Oh, because it sounded like.
Remember that?
A little, yeah, better deal.
No.
That didn't last long.
Better deal versus art of the deal.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I'm just. Better deal for the people. Maybe if you started to connect the dots of all of the slogans. Better deal for the people.
Well, Michelle Obama
starts to get some rhyme.
Yeah. Michelle Obama is teaming up with some Hollywood A-listers. They're starting a group to get people out to vote for the midterm elections.
Get people to register.
Yeah, well, guess what their group is called?
For the people.
No, When We All Vote. When We All Vote. That's the thing. It's a nonprofit. And she's going to meet with volunteers to make sure they get people out to vote.
When we all vote for the people, better deal. I think you've got, pieces there. If you put a little bass to it, we could come up with
312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer.
When we all vote. It's a better deal for the people when we all vote.
Okay.
What you say? I said it's a better deal for the people when we all vote.
Oh, see? You combined all three.
Yeah.
A better deal for the people when we all vote.
All right, let's keep adding to it. Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning. Neither party is good choice for me. We've got the Democrat Party rapidly lurching left and now discussion openly of socialism. And then we've got a Republican Party who seems unable to check the president's authoritarian tendencies, mostly obsequiousness. There's some good policies, but they seem to be very chicken to keep President Trump's tendencies in check. And the reason for that is when they go back to the district, the voters are supporting the president in his antics. So
well, let me ask.
I'm frightened.
Let me ask you this, Tom. You're in Deer Park, so who's your Congressman Hultgren?
No, Peter Roskam.
Oh, you're Roskam still. Okay. So Roskam and Hultgren are both in dead heats right now in their race. Hultgren, too. There's been some talk about Roskam, but Hultgren is also in a dead heat right now. Anyway, you have Roskam. So Roskam versus Kasten. You're talking about as much talk as there was about a Democrat takeover running through California. If we start losing suburban congressmen like Roskam and Hultgren, it could run through Illinois. So what's your choice going to be there, Roskam versus Kasten?
Oh, I support Roskam.
Oh,
We've
okay.
supported him and we'll be voting for him.
Okay.
I mean, he's a fine congressman, but I'm just talking overall for the system here, in the districts here. This is Trump land, and he has authoritarian tendencies, and I don't see the Republicans keeping him in check. Yeah, we got some good policies, but I don't feel good about it.
Well, okay, all right. Thanks for the call, Tom. I mean, it's not like he got a pass on his performance at that post-Putin presser on Monday, and it's not like that pressure didn't force him to make a restatement, to backpedal on Tuesday, which he did. Mike in Bolingbrook.
All right, Dan, here you go. You and Amy, get your juices flowing with this one.
Okay.
Remix of Michael Jackson's "We Are the World."
Mm-hmm.
Throw all that in there, and then I'd love to hear that puking. I'll hang up and go with it.
Oh, yeah, very, very good. Thanks for the call, Mike.
No, we are not. No.
It's a good reminder.
No, we're not doing that.
There it is.
Seriously. I'm honestly, I'm not listening.
Well,
because it makes me nauseous.
that was a request
Some
from a listener.
people are eating breakfast right now and don't need to
No,
hear
they're
the
not
puking
anymore
sound.
after that. Randy in Elkhorn.
Yeah, it's a better deal for all the people when we vote. Is that what it is?
It's a better deal for the people.
When we all vote.
When we all vote. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, when we all vote.
Yeah.
Twice.
When we all vote twice. That's
That's the winner. Winner, chicken
Thanks,
dinner
Randy.
there.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, a rock band like none other. But first, here's your forecast. Sunshine today, some clouds by this afternoon, a high of 83 degrees. Then tonight, hopefully, we'll have a passing shower or thunderstorm, a low of 69 degrees. And for Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, more humid, a shower and thunderstorm likely, and not as warm, a high of 78. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Dominic Fortini in for Jim Talamonte.
Eden's looking good this morning. Inbound Kennedy, 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. The outbound side still recovering from that earlier crash near Grand. Watch for hangups from the Hubbard Street Tunnel through Division. 15 minutes downtown to Montrose. 25 out to O'Hare. The inbound Ike on the brakes at 25th. On the outbound side, if you need some drywall, check near Homan because it's all over the road there. Northbound 55. Also have a dump truck in the ditch just before Harlem. Inbound Ryan struggles along between 35th and the Burns Circle in both the locals and the express. 38 minutes in from 95th. This is all because of the earlier crash on the outbound Kennedy. Inbound Bishop Ford gets hung up from 111th into the Ryan northbound Tri-State. Already getting busy between 88 and 290. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
The rapid evolution of technology and industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions that give manufacturers a competitive advantage, from ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor. Industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
I believe that God created you, and He also created an abundance of organic fruits and vegetables to keep you healthy. Hi, I'm Dennis Black, naturopathic doctor and founder of Texas Superfood. Over 30 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and given just months to live. I started eating the way that God intended us all to eat, but finding organic fruits and vegetables every day is not only time-consuming, it's expensive. That's why I started Texas Superfood almost 20 years ago. And now I've created a new formula that's the best USDA organic certified fruits and vegetables with enzymes and probiotics, and have also added powerful all-natural herbs for energy and focus, all in a convenient capsule or powder. I call it Texas Superfood Complete Organic. Go to TexasSuperfood.com or call me at 855-TEXAS-55. If you can't, won't, or don't eat all of your organic fruits and vegetables every day, Texas Superfood Complete Organic is made for you. Go to TexasSuperfood.com or call me at 855-TEXAS-55. That's 855-TEXAS-55.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600 or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, MUELLER, CPA.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, we're still workshopping this Dem midterm slogan. They just have for the people. We're trying to spice it up for them so, they can make Jim Comey happy. So for the people, but then we have When We All Vote, Michelle Obama's voter reg initiative.
Yeah.
And then we have their
Better Deal was what it used to be.
Their previous one, yeah. So we got right now a better deal for the people when we all vote twice.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if we can continue our improvements there. John in Palatine.
Hey, David and Amy, how about free-for-all, the people? Kind of like a free-for-all, like the Democratic Party is becoming.
Instead of for the people,
Free for all the people. That's a kind of a double entendre. I like that. Thanks, John. Mike in Pleasant Prairie.
Yeah, hi, guys. I think in their typical Democratic stealth fashion, leaving part of it out, I think it's for the people as is their need, from the people as is their ability.
Oh, it's very, yes. Thank you, Comrade Mike.
There.
Yeah,
Bet.
very good. Appreciate it. I've heard that somewhere before. Paul in Plainfield.
Hey, Dan. So I heard a caller earlier ask about Donald Trump mentioning that Donald Trump was an authoritarian. My question is, what action has Donald Trump ever taken that would be considered authoritarian? I can't think of a single one.
Yeah, it's sort of rhetoric and tone. There's not a lot of policy decisions or executive actions that have been taken that would support that claim. I agree with you, Paul. Thanks for the call. Joe in Hoffman Estates.
I think the great slogan for the Democrats in the midterm would be because Venezuela is not as bad as they make it out to be.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the call, Joe.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
A wise man once said that being the best is not a spectator sport. Nothing will change in life if you don't do something about it. So if you have the chance to become better, sharper, and much more productive, why wouldn't you? Today, modern technology reveals an amazing discovery that has led to a breakthrough experts are calling the nirvana we've all been searching for. It's called Limitless, the Smart Pill. Limitless is a major leap in the world of supplements used to boost the power of your brain. Get it, take it, experience a dramatic change in your life. Feel amazing. And once you do it with Limitless, you'll do anything to take it again and bring back the better version of you. Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Limitless and this extraordinary experience for yourself.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Limitless, call 800-605-1653. That's 800-605-1653. Get your free bottle for a limited time. Call now, 800-605-1653, 800-605-1653.
Every business owner knows that digital marketing is crucial to your success. Getting the most from your online marketing budget and quantifying and analyzing those results are issues nearly all companies face. Dave Rohr, Northside Metrics founder and co-host of the Business of Digital podcast, not only shares your values, but also knows how to answer those tricky digital marketing questions. Whether you need a full-service digital agency or you want support for your in-house team, Dave and the Northside Metrics team are your digital marketing experts. Northside Metrics can help your business with PPC, SEO, SMO, or any of the other acronyms you hear about. They can also help you understand your analytics and craft a plan of action based on the data, not just whims. Northside Metrics creates custom plans that help you reach your business goals and still fit your budget. And for the record, nothing is outsourced or offshored. Ready to learn more? Call Dave Rohr, toll free at 844-406-6784 or visit northsidemetrics.com. northsidemetrics.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Inbound Kennedy at 20 minutes. In from O'Hare, the outbound side struggles along between the Hubbard Tunnel and Division. 27 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound Ike on the brakes from Wolf through Des Plaines. 45 in from Thorndale. 32 in from Manheim. Outbound, still have that drywall debris in the roadway right near Holman. Well, the inbound Stevenson, we got two left lanes blocked because of an accident involving a dump truck near Harlem. That's going to back things up through LaGrange. 58 minutes from 355 into the drive, and still having some brake lights on the inbound side of the Ryan. From 47th into the Burns Circle now. Traffic building there. 38 minutes, 95th into downtown. Inbound Bishop Ford hits the brakes at 115. Traffic's a service of unbound.org. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Increasing cloudiness throughout the day today with a high 83, then turning out to be a mostly cloudy night. We'll have a shower or a thunderstorm with a low of 69. Showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow, high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 68 at O'Hare. The news, a service of Compassion International. You can't change the whole world, but you can be part of the change in the world for a child living in poverty. Become a Compassion International child sponsor. You can choose the child to sponsor now. Compassion.com/radio. Compassion.com/radio. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following this morning on AM 560, The Answer. Former Chicago Roman Catholic priest deemed to be a sexually violent person, Daniel McCormack, on Wednesday, ordered committed indefinitely to an Illinois facility for sex offenders. Hundreds are without a home after a massive blaze tore through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights. Suburban couple stands accused of locking up their 10-year-old daughter in their basement since the beginning of the year. Illinois DCFS investigating a Chicago shelter that housed children that may have been separated from their parents at the Mexican border. 5-year-old girl is dead, struck by a car in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. Chicago police continue their investigation. Cubs return from the All-Star break tonight with the opener of a 5-game set against the Cardinals. More Dan and Amy after Fox, WIND, Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Stay out of our elections. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We can't have meddling. We can't have any of that.
President Trump says that's what he told Russia's leader at their summit Monday. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the president says he holds President Putin personally responsible for the 2016 election meddling, telling CBS News he put the Russian leader on notice.
I let him know we can't have this. We're not going to have it. And that's the way it's going to be.
He also said he does agree with the U.S. intelligence community's assessment of Russia's activities. President Trump said yesterday he does not believe Russia is currently trying to interfere with U.S. elections. Dave?
Rachel, FBI Director Christopher Wray did tell the Aspen Security Forum we haven't seen Russian efforts this year to target specific election infrastructure.
But certainly other efforts, what I would call malign influence operations, are very active.
Democrats still don't accept the president's clarification to believing Putin's denials at that summit. Senator Dick Durbin says
it was clear what he was doing from the start, what he had to say. And when he saw the firestorm of opposition, even from Fox, then he had to say something.
There's a $10,000 reward in Hawaii to find a cop killer on the Big Island.
Authorities say officers were conducting a traffic stop Tuesday night when the driver, 33-year-old Justin Waiki, got out and fired multiple shots. Officer Bronson Kaliloa was struck in the neck and leg and died at the hospital. He leaves behind a wife and 3 small children.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. In Minnesota, a guard was attacked at a prison in Stillwater, killed by an inmate yesterday, a convicted murderer.
I'm not going to prioritize what's the toughest day in my career, but this is a bad day, folks.
Department of Corrections Commissioner Tom Roy. 22 soldiers injured at Fort Hunter Liggett in California. 4 had to be hospitalized after the wind generated by an Army helicopter blew down a tent. Fox News, fair and balanced.
As press secretary for President Trump, Sean Spicer had a front row seat to history. And in his new book, he reveals details about what really happened behind the scenes during the campaign and the early days of the administration. On Wednesday, August 8th, Sean Spicer is coming to Chicago. Meet Sean Spicer and get a copy of his new book, The Briefing, at the Museum of Broadcast Communications. Tickets are absolutely free. Thanks to healthinsurancementors.com. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/briefing. That's 560theanswer.com/briefing.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event. And now, while selection is best, it's the best time to buy. With amazing offers across a full lineup of Ford vehicles, now is the time to make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Stop by a local Ford store or shop online at buyfordnow.com, because there is no better time than right now to get behind the wheel of a new Ford during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Ford Summer Sales Event is here. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on a great lineup of Ford SUVs. Best-selling claim based on 2017 calendar year sales. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $1,389 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Not available on Expedition. For all offers, take new retail delivery from authorized Ford dealer stock by 7/31/18. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and details.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And so the Putin meet maelstrom continues yesterday. The latest controversy that has whipped people into a frenzy, like Dick Blumenthal, who says, this is a United States Senator. No, seriously. United States Senator from Connecticut, Dick Blumenthal. So we have a 9/11-like crisis. The country's in a state of emergency. And the emergency continues amid calls by Democrats for hearings, whistle the translator in the meeting before Congress to disclose what he translated.
Right, during their private meeting. They want to subpoena him.
The suggestion that the conversation between Putin and Trump. There's just that the entire meeting. This is Adam Schiff from the Democrat who represents Area 51. The entire meeting was part of the compromise.
Yeah, Michael Moore. I mean, his hair is always on fire, but he tweeted out,
covered by a hat.
Russians are holding him hostage by whatever they got on him, or whatever harm they are threatening to do to his family.
Yeah. I mean, he might as well be a Democrat member of Congress. There's a deep think piece on the Daily Beast about how the soccer ball Putin gave him could be bugged. How easy it would be to bug the soccer ball.
Are you kidding me?
Well, then I assume it's got. If
it was
it's
a tiny ball.
If the soccer ball is bugged, I assume that the Russians then have great detail on what Barron is doing on a daily basis. But here's something else. The President of the United States gets something like that. Do you think our security people go over items that he gets to make sure that?
They also check his food before every time he takes a bite.
But this is what we're talking about here. And so every utterance is going to be seen as evidence that he is, as I've been saying all week, Staff Sergeant Raymond Shaw. He is Russia's man in the Oval Office. He is being run by Putin. He is our Manchurian candidate. And so yesterday, at the close of a cabinet meeting where reporters were still peppering the president with questions, as they're wont to do, this happened.
Is Russia still targeting the U.S., Mr. President?
Press, let's go. Make your way. He said, thank you very much, no. Then somebody said, he said, thank you very much, go. Or was it no go? Or was it go no? Is it Yanni?
Laurel.
Or Laurel?
Play it back
Ready?
again.
We're going to play it in slow motion.
Slow down.
We
gotta Zapruder this.
Got a dart in your neck.
Is Russia still targeting the U.S., Mr. President? Press, let's go. Make your way.
He clearly said Yanni.
He clearly said Laurel.
This has been taken as a suggestion that, again, Trump is doing the bidding of the Russians, saying that, no, they're not targeting us anymore.
I watched it. He said thank you very much, no.
Right. And
Sarah Sanders meant like no more questions.
Right.
But to me, when he was answering the question from Holly Jackson from NBC, that's who was shouting the question, it looked to me like he said, no, they're not.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not going to get my panties in a bunch over that because who cares?
No, not that one.
I don't. Whatever.
But there is something.
Nauseous. My head is spinning.
But there is something else that's problematic. I mean, he did this interview with Jeff Glor from CBS Evening News yesterday. CBS News. It was on the evening news program, and he restated his restatement from the day before, which was all well and good.
You say you agree with U.S. intelligence that Russia meddled in the election in 2016.
Yeah, and I've said that before, Jeff. I have said that numerous times before. And I would say that is true, yeah.
But you haven't condemned Putin specifically. Do you hold him personally responsible?
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
Okay, that's a sensible answer. And the president continued in describing what he told Putin about Russian interference in our elections at the meeting.
We're not going to have it, and that's the way it's going to be.
But he denies it. So if you believe U.S. intelligence agencies, is Putin lying to you?
I don't want to get into whether or not he's lying. I can only say that I do have confidence in our intelligence agencies as currently constituted. I think that Dan Coats is excellent. I think that Gina is excellent. I think we have excellent people in the agencies, and when they tell me something, it means a lot.
Okay, and then that builds on that builds on yesterday, where he also said, which he should have said at the press conference, we're taking steps, taking all necessary precautions, and communicated as such about and to make sure there is no effective effort to interfere with our elections in 2018 and beyond by the Russians or anybody else. Okay.
And Dan Coats yesterday said that there is still a threat with Russian interference.
I'm here to say the warning lights
are blinking red again.
All right.
Would say on the matter.
Danger.
Pull
Dan
over.
Coates. Mike in Crown Point, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I've got a theory about the soccer ball. I think it's actually a leather-wrapped Sputnik.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all sorts of surveillance gear inside of there, and they'll be inside the Oval Office from now on, monitoring everything Trump does.
Yeah, you're probably right, Mike.
It did
Thanks
look
for the
like
call.
it was shaped oddly, because I've been around a lot of soccer ball. It didn't seem like a regular official size soccer ball.
Yeah.
Do you see the little antenna sticking out of it too?
I think you see that, what was that commercial for? But remember the commercial that featured like a Russian in a gilded room with like miniature giraffes? I forget the
What was
product
it?
now, but was it Geico? It sounds like it would be a Geico
Yeah.
commercial. But anyway, I think they could have miniaturized one of the spies, and that Russian spy is living inside the soccer ball.
I think they should give the soccer ball to the kids from the cave. The soccer team?
Oh,
Too soon? Sorry. Gosh.
Glad you got out with love, Vlad. John in Cal Park.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I saw a very interesting video montage yesterday of Obama, Biden, Hillary, and I think Pelosi was in the mix there too, saying this was during when Romney was running against Obama. They're like, hey, what's your beef, man? The Cold War is over, basically. So now here we are today with, oh, my God, Russia's the bad guys now.
I know.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
Whatever
the call,
fits their
John.
narrative.
Yeah, they didn't.
I hated that moment from that election. when
Trump
Obama did that.
Well, and Trump has made this point a couple of times, as have others. Boy, President Obama and all of those deep thinkers and patriots around him, heading up the intelligence agencies, that are so vociferous now in criticism of Trump and Russia, and so convinced of Russian not only interference, which I am convinced of as well, I mean the evidence suggests, but also Russian collusion, of course, which there's no evidence to support by the president. Why didn't they take more steps, make this more public when they were in charge? Because they were in charge
Right.
through the duration of the 2016 election. So
Yeah, people seem to forget that.
So what happened
I
on their?
reminded somebody yesterday. That was on President Obama's watch.
Yeah, what happened?
That happened.
So what? So maybe since they love the cable TV show so much, why don't you tell us? Clap on, clap off. James Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden. What did you guys do to deal with the Russia, the threat that Russia poses to our election and to our national security more generally? Give us chapter and verse. Love to hear from you. Jim in Tampa.
Good morning, guys. Dan, would you speculate on where this strategy of the Democrats is going, this hair on fire strategy? Where is this leading them?
What with the strategy of what exactly are you characterizing as their strategy?
To compare things to 911 and
Oh.
Just a whole crazy strategy that they all seem to be undertaking.
Yeah, this is a base plus exercise, right? This is a voter turnout, voter enthusiasm. So I think they believe, some of them must, that they need to, number one, feed the base, and that's where the energy is, the socialist base of the Democrat Party, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez segment, and turn them out. And I think they believe that the hysteria and the P-hats and the Black Lives Matter and the identity politics on steroids is the way to generate the enthusiasm, to generate the turnout they need to regain control of Congress in November. That's what I think. I don't know. I mean,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Jim. Appreciate it. I don't know what else they would be thinking. Now there's some Democrats that are suggesting that we should pump the brakes a little bit on some of the hysteria and some of the very public and open embrace of socialism, but not many. Joe in Indian Head Park.
Yes, I think that if he's Raymond Shaw, then Melania is his Queen of Hearts handler.
Yes.
She's from Slovenia, former satellite of the USSR. And I could just hear her in her little accent, Donald, why don't you play a little solitaire?
Very good, Joe. Thank you for building on my Manchurian Candidate. Appreciate it. Melania from Slovenia. Yeah. It's all starting to come into focus.
Did you see Melania, too, when she shook President Putin's hand? She was very nice. Then she turned around and she had this look of horror on her face. I don't know what that means. I'll show it to you.
He probably gave her the order. It's time to activate our asset.
She turned. I mean, I'll show it to you.
You know who I still believe is running the whole thing?
Barron.
Yeah,
Barron's he's got his whole floor at the Trump Tower. I mean, I know he lives in the White House right now, but they go back and
he's
forth.
like Kaiser Sose. He doesn't even exist. I never see him.
You know what? You know what Eli said to me? Does he ever get older? Why is he always still a 10-year-old boy? Isn't he 12 now? And I'm like, you know what? And I looked it up. He is 12. Okay. They put him on the shelf that he's a 10-year-old. He has a 10-year-old son, and then
those are different kids.
Those are trained actors.
Those are just there's like
Hollywood extras.
They're like Saddam body doubles.
Oh.
It's just to create the appearance of a Barron.
He's tall. I hope he plays sports. I hope they have a basketball in his hand.
Some of the Barons are tall and others are not. George in Libertyville.
You know, Dan, you're absolutely right on your earlier comment.
About
the
Barron?
Republicans, I think, had it. No. Yeah, he's a tall kid. Is you know, the only response the Republicans should have been given the whole time is maybe they did interfere. You guys were in charge. What did you do about it?
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been simply that would have squashed the whole thing. Maybe they did. You guys had absolute control. What did you do?
Thanks for the call, George. Maybe part of their strategy too is to make people forget to ask them and ask themselves the simple questions. I mean, that's the simplest of questions. But yeah, let's hear from Clapper and the rest of them what they did. And I mean, be specific. And now with everything we know 2 years removed, boy, we could ask really specific follow-up questions to whatever they have to say. It's very much like Kim Strassel asking the perfect, simple question after Peter Strzok's testimony last week. If you were being investigated by Peter Strzok and you knew that he had that kind of animus for you, would you feel like you were getting a fair shake? Exactly.
Real simple.
Greg in Milwaukee.
Hello.
Hey, Greg.
How are you? I have a perfect way to get out from this meddling thing for President Trump. When the press asks him, all he's got to do is answer the question by saying, of course they're not meddling anymore. President Obama told them to cut it out.
Thanks, Greg.
Opulence. I has it. I like the best. This one. But I also like savings the money. So when DirecTV tell me 5 months free for most premium televisions package, I jump in it.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I hate Elon Musk. I hate him for what he said to that British diver who saved those boys. He called him a pedophile.
Yeah.
Well, shares in Tesla dropped Monday, plummeted after he made that. That's why he apologized yesterday. I don't think he really meant it. I meant it. I thought he was forced to say it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
South Africa's Harold Hill.
Ugh.
That's who Elon Musk is.
Gross. Forecast for today is not gross. It's a lovely day. Plenty of sunshine. Some clouds moving in here later today, a high of 83 degrees. Tonight we have a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, a low of 69. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, more humid with a shower and thunderstorm likely, a high around 78 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Jim Telemonte is off. Dominic Fortini is filling in. Hey, Dominic.
Good morning. Inbound Eaton starting to struggle at Elston. 20 minutes in from Lake Cook, 19 on the outbound ride. The inbound Kennedy, 24 minutes in from O'Hare, 10 in from the junction. Still looking good in those inbound express lanes. Outbound delays, Ohio through Division, then Lawrence to Sayre. 27 minutes downtown out to O'Hare, while the inbound Ike is a little bit tight near Wolf. 43 minutes in from Thorndale, a half hour in from Manheim. Inbound Stevenson starting to get a little heavy between the Des Plaines River Bridge and Kedzie at this point. 58 minutes in from 355, 46 in from the Tri-State. Still have that crash involving a dump truck just before Harlem, but it's pushed off onto the shoulder. Inbound Ryan, 32 in from 95th, 15 outbound. Inbound 957 starting to slow near 111th, and delays popping up on the inbound Bishop Ford, also near 111th. And watch for some tight traffic northbound Tri-State between 88 and Irving Park at this point of the morning. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show, long-form interviews in our Against the Current series, as well as our Man on the Street Follow the Logic segments. This week, we've got one on the Janus decision and public sector unionization. Very interesting perspectives from residents of Chicago on the topic. Our Heart of the Matter series featuring professional women speaking about the important issues of the day and their impacts on household budgets and family life, as well as podcast our Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics, which airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. And then don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com. Free property tax report on your home, as well as updated home sales information on homes in your neighborhood and your community. All the property tax and home sale info is at defendhomeowners.com. Everything else at upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Go to GreatParkingLots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Special early season discounts if you act now. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
A glass of wine on the patio at day's end. Laughter from your teens and their friends gathered around the crackling fire of your new fire pit. This is the private oasis that AM Woodland Outdoor Design can create for you. Your outdoor space should be a reflection of your family's personality and a true extension of your home, not just a place to set your grill and furniture. A well-designed and constructed outdoor space can add significant value to your home and bring endless days of enjoyment. Spend more time together as a family, entertain friends, or just have a personal sanctuary to relax and de-stress. The expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process. They provide quality service with the utmost integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com. That's amwoodland.com. Or call 847-224-2167.
That's Dot. She's here to greet me after a long day. She's the only one who wants to be near me when I'm sick. She's my best friend. Thanks to folks like South Suburban Humane Society, Dot went from living on the street to a dog that wears clothes. Yep, I'm that guy. So how did I get so lucky? Before I met Dot, I spent time at South Suburban. Giving to a nonprofit isn't always about giving money or donating food and supplies, although that's appreciated too. South Suburban Pets just want your love. We encourage you to come by the facility, take a dog for a walk, play with Dot's cat friends, or even foster a pet to keep your flexibility. If you're interested in how you can volunteer or donate, visit them at southsuburbanhumane.org. That's right, Dot. South Suburban is a 501c3, which means all donations are tax deductible for individuals and businesses. Text DONATE to 708-866-0065 or visit southsuburbanhumane.org. South Suburban Humane Society, creating a better world for pets and their people.
Your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855 1 Hour.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Looking for a fun summer vacation idea? Charlottesville in Albemarle County, Virginia is a short and easy trip with daily nonstop flights on 2 airlines from O'Hare. Tour the homes of former Presidents Jefferson, Monroe, and Madison. Sip wine at one of the area's 30-plus wineries. Take a hike in Shenandoah National Park. Dine al fresco at one of the many farm-to-table restaurants. Or stroll down one of the longest pedestrian malls in the country. Plan your trip today at visitcharlottesville.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, one thing that is troubling came out yesterday. Remember Putin during his press conference singled out this businessman named Bill Browder, who's exposed widespread Russian tax fraud that led to some sanctions against the Russia that Putin doesn't like. And he suggested that Browder had generated $400,000, made a $400,000 contribution illegally to the Hillary Clinton campaign, and that he had solid reason to believe some intelligence officers guided these transactions. So this was Putin's sort of response to, are you going to allow to be extradited the 12 who were indicted by Mueller?
Right.
And then he talks about, well, we have this case, for example, and we have some interest, some people we would like to talk to. So, a request will need to be made about the extradition if that's something the U.S. wants. And then we've got some of our requests as well. On Wednesday, Russian prosecutors communicated that they want to interview Mike McFaul, who's a former U.S. ambassador to Russia under Obama.
Yeah. And yesterday, they asked Sarah Sanders about that, allowing Russians to interview and question American citizens. And she didn't. They said that they're still thinking about it.
Russian authorities yesterday named several Americans who they want to question, who they claim were involved in Bill Browder's quote-unquote crimes in their terms, including a former ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul. Does President Trump support that idea? Is he open to having U.S. officials questioned by Russia?
The president's going to meet with his team, and we'll let you know when we have an announcement on that.
For a second, is that a topic that came up in their conversation? Did President Putin raise this with President Trump?
There was some conversation about it, but there wasn't a commitment made on behalf of the United States, and the president will work with his team, and we'll let you know if there's an announcement on that front.
I mean, that would be unprecedented if we allowed them to question our American citizens.
Well, also, State Department spokesman Heather Nauert called the request to interview McFaul absolutely absurd.
Oh.
Which it is absolutely absurd.
It is absurd. Well, why aren't these two ladies on the same page?
I don't know, but that's a problem. There is no way.
No way.
The idea of compelling any American to be questioned by Russian investigators, much less the idea that we would start doing some kind of you allow us to extradite the 12 who were indicted, and we'll send over some people that you want to talk to. Absolutely fracking not. Are you nuts? It's crazy. No way. There's no way we would ever, or should at least ever, compel such an occurrence. It's absurd.
Hey.
And it should have been dismissed out of hand. Spence in LaPorte, Indiana.
Guys, I think what cracks me up about this, and I am surprised I don't hear this more often from conservatives and from TV media, is the fact that the Democrats call Trump out for being buddies with Putin, but yet inside the realm of their own party, they've got known and very open socialists/communists actually running for office. Yet that's not a problem in our country, but a guy that lives in his country that's running his communist country, they have a problem with. I'm shocked by that.
Their newfound concern for Russia is no question. Thanks for the call, Spence. Pete in Montgomery.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. My whole problem with this entire scenario is that the Democrats seem to be conflating two separate issues: vote tampering and propaganda. We should definitely oppose and strongly oppose vote tampering, but propaganda is propaganda. There's no way you're going to be able to prevent that from happening. So you fight against that with the truth, and that's not happening. And everything that the Democrats are saying simply bolsters the propaganda war that the Russian Federation is perpetrating right now.
Thanks for the call, Pete.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Woke capital versus the working class at 6:36.
And later, why butchers in France need police protection. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine this morning, 68 degrees. President Trump says he did tell Russian President Vladimir Putin that we can't have meddling.
But I let him know we can't have this. We're not going to have it. And that's the way it's going to be.
In an interview with CBS News, the president says he also made it clear to Vladimir Putin he agrees with the U.S. intelligence community's conclusion that Russia tried to meddle in the 2016 election. British police believe they've identified the people who used a Soviet-designed nerve agent to try and kill a one-time Russian double agent and his daughter. Investigators say several Russians were involved in that murder attempt. An American pastor remains in a Turkish jail in spite of mounting pressure from the U.S. Andrew Brunson has been jailed since October of 2016 after being accused of terrorism and spying. Wildfires continue to rage in Oregon and California. The substation fire in northern Oregon has burned through 45,000 acres and killed one. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo citing some major progress on the North Korean talks.
The North Koreans reaffirmed their commitment to denuclearize.
Meantime, Pompeo says he also expects some American MIA remains to be turned over to the U.S. in less than 1 month. And there are also opportunities in a couple of weeks to turn over about 50 American MIA remains. An initiative aimed at dividing California into 3 states will not appear on the November ballot. The California Supreme Court blocked Proposition 9, citing significant questions regarding the proposition's validity. Hundreds are without a home after a massive fire tore through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights.
Whatever I have on now, plus this, that's all I have. That's all I have.
2 residents and 1 firefighter sustained minor injuries in that major blaze. A suburban couple stands accused of locking up their 10-year-old daughter in their basement since the beginning of the year. Randy and Catherine Swopes were arrested Tuesday. They were charged with child endangerment and unlawful restraint. A candidate for Chicago mayor getting a surprise endorsement. Former Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy getting the backing of community activist Andrew Holmes, often seen at crime scenes working as a crisis counselor. Cubs return from the All-Star break tonight with the opener of a 5-game series against the rival Cardinals at Wrigley Field. White Sox have to wait yet another day to get back on the diamond, while the Bears report to training camp today. The news, a service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving for victims of drunk and drug driving. Their grief is unique, but you are not alone. MAD is here to help. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP, or visit madd.org, mad.org. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes it's been a witch hunt since 2016.
To be a member of the mainstream media, news media today, should be a source of moral embarrassment. But it isn't, because, as I have said for decades, being on the left means never having to say you're sorry. The media and the left and its party, the Democratic Party, sustain hysteria they have from the moment of the election.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
My husband's blood pressure has dropped 30 points. I've lost 8 pounds. He's lost about 20 pounds. His arthritis is gone. You guys have given me back my husband. I'd come home from work, and if he beat me home from work, he would be laying in the recliner, and I would feed him supper in his recliner and would be like really boring, pathetic old people watching TV while we ate dinner and then go to bed exhausted and wake up tired. I came home from work last night, and he was mowing the lawn. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so amazing.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
It is 6:35. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, in for Jim, here's Dominic.
Mike, some suburban issues in Hanover Park because of a power outage. You've got traffic lights malfunctioning near County Farm and Glenbrook, as well as Arlington and Glenbrook. Also in Waukegan, a water main break keeps things kind of active at Glen Flora and Lewis this morning. Getting a little bit busier on our area expressways. Eden's in 25 minutes, while the Kennedy in at 34 from O'Hare. 16 in from the junction, still a better bet. In the inbound express lanes, outbound costs you 34 minutes downtown out to O'Hare. Inbound Ike, heavy Manheim to Harlem. Delays inbound Stevenson between Harlem and Kedzie, an hour 10 in from 355. 58 in from the Tri-State. Inbound Ryan backs up at 31st in the locals. 33 minutes, 95th in the downtown. Inbound Bishop Ford hung up from the Stony Island feeder into the Ryan. Traffic's a service of unbound.org. Right now, there's a girl in India who has dreams bigger than her village. Right now, there's an elder in Guatemala who dreams of a life of greater dignity and less loneliness. You can help change the future of one person in a single moment. Begin the change at unbound.org. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine will give way to afternoon clouds and maybe a late day shower or thunderstorm, high 83. Shower or storm expected overnight, low 69, currently 68. Your next news comes your way at 7, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez onto something when she calls capitalism into question?
312-642-5600 is our turnkeyed up her answer line.
I don't mean from her perspective. I don't mean embracing socialism. But some skepticism of capitalism as our value system. Our economic system is one thing. Our value system can be something else. A piece in First Things by Matthew Schmitz, Cultural Realpolitik. In it, he discusses woke capital versus the working class. Woke capital versus the working class. When the Supreme Court took up the Obergefell case, this is, of course, the redefinition of marriage case, 379 businesses, including McKinsey, Bain, Goldman Sachs, Google, Morgan Stanley, submitted amicus briefs. They argued allowing same-sex couples to marry improves employee morale and productivity, which contributes significant returns for our shareholders and owners. There's money to be made in gay rights. Large global firms, especially supportive of the LGBT cause. He references a book from a professor at Williams College. In 2010, 75% of the 1,000 largest firms in the United States mandated quote-unquote non-discrimination for sexual orientation. Among the Fortune 500, it was 89%.
Oh, yeah, I've been inside a Fortune 500 company where they have bathrooms and they have transgender bathrooms.
That was
and showers and, come on in.
Woke capital.
Why don't they
Woke-
just have one large bathroom and put us all together?
Woke capital. And Schmitz makes the point, corporations set the standard on LGBT rights, then they impose the standard on others. Indiana, Arizona, Georgia moved to implement religious freedom bills. It was big corporations that threatened a capital strike. As Delta put it, such laws, religious freedom laws, as were upheld, religious freedom, I should say, not necessarily the laws, religious freedom upheld by the Supreme Court, most recently in that Masterpiece Cake Shop case. This is what was happening at the state and local level in response to the Obergefell decision to make sure that religious freedom was not unconstitutionally impinged upon. But when Indiana, Georgia, Arizona moved in that direction, Delta said such laws were inconsistent with the ethic of a, quote, global values-based company. It's interesting because he opens his piece before he gets to corporations talking about the floats in the 2017 New York Pride Parade. On a clear day in June 2017, 2 million people lined the route of the New York Pride Parade to cheer as floats sponsored by Deutsche Telekom, Nissan, Facebook, Toronto Dominion Bank went by. Marchers wearing resistance T-shirts led the way, followed by the ranks of New York's finest marching, before a corrections department van painted rainbow colors. Trojan brand ambassadors threw condoms to the crowd like candy, even with children stretching out their hands. All seemed to be well until 12 members of a group called No Justice, No Pride blockaded the parade in front of the Stonewall Inn, the Lexington and Concord of gay liberation, as Matthew Schmitz puts it. They denounced the parade for having become the world's longest Super Bowl commercial break, glorifying an economic system they say is inimical to LGBT rights. And then the protesters were hustled out.
So they weren't protesting gays; they were protesting the companies
They're
that benefit off of
the commercialization
gay
of gay
lifestyle?
rights.
Okay.
The commercialization of gay rights, which these leftist gay activists found to be not consistent with their, socialist worldview. The same way you would get that reaction from Occupy Wall Streeters or members of Congress from the Bronx these days. The unwillingness of the right to criticize corporations is relatively new. Until World War II, conservative thinkers, writes Schmitz, like Southern agrarians, sometime conservative politicians before he went full bull moose, like Teddy Roosevelt, mounted vigorous critiques of unfettered capital and viewed corporations as political agents that needed to be called to account. Policies that corporations promote are the bourgeois virtues. And they also promote a less traditional set of values. The main beneficiary of the economic policies championed by conservatives, argues Schmitz, has been a managerial class that prefers sexual liberation to the austerities of the Protestant ethic. The class is more secular, more progressive, and more privileged than the rest of America. Its members have enjoyed growing incomes as the incomes of working-class Americans have stagnated. They have benefited from globalization and supported free trade, this managerial class. Pride parades are festivals of this class's faith. They present global corporations as the breakers of boundaries. Right? This is a particularly poignant example. A spokeswoman for the United Nations Human Rights Office defended the manufacture of gay pride apparel in overseas sweatshops when worlds collide.
Oh.
She said, making pride T-shirts in a place where homosexuality is illegal could be considered a way of making inroads towards more human rights. Schmitz writes, free trade meets free love. And there are populists that have challenged this faith, Bernie Sanders even. Koch brothers' proposal, which is essentially there's no United States. That was Sanders criticizing the Koch brothers from a sort of America First perspective. These are the culture war's true battle lines, concludes Schmitz. On one side are well-scrubbed members of the managerial class who believe that any constraint on the free movement of labor, goods, and capital is a violation of global values. They're fully committed to the central project of neoliberalism, the insulation of markets from democratic pressure, small d. They also wish to protect desire from any legal, cultural, or moral restraint. On the other side are the unwashed people of varying political stripes who intuit that economic life should be subject to political authority, which today rests in the nation. They believe in moral norms and national boundaries. Christians need to practice cultural realpolitik. No explanation of the meaning of marriage, however rigorously argued or scrupulously secular, can overcome the power of a managerial elite that is wholly opposed to the kind of society for which Christians hope. Refusal to see this has been fatal to the traditionalist cause. While arguing against liberal social changes, they've cheered economic policies that harm their natural allies and aid their opponents. They've handed a shovel to their own gravedigger. Progressives now stand with global capital, as the Pride Parade so clearly shows. Christians, in turn, should stand with the working class, which is more religious, more diverse, and more patriotic than the managerial elite. Only by reducing inequality and restraining corporations can Christians avoid being buried. Only by challenging the ideology of free markets and open borders can they advance their view of the common good. The struggle between woke capital and the working class will determine the outcome of the culture war. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Do you agree? Is that what Christians need to do? Oppose the managerial elite, the kind of secular corporate class, and remind those that our economic life is subject to a political authority? Is that the way to win the culture war? Or to win the culture war really just means to have policies that are reflective of your and Christian moral views? Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So this has been a problem for me from the beginning. So I'm a gay conservative, and we constantly are used as a yo-yo game to play identity politics.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, and the left wants to do that, then at some point, if the gay life and people of color and all these other groups that come together have to have our rights beat over everybody's head, then why is it so difficult for people who are traditionalists, people who are Christians, which I am a Christian, don't they get the same rights? Why do we always defer to the people who are squawking the loudest and just make the biggest stink? We want to spend the rest of our life being treated as equal, but we do everything in our power to separate ourselves from the norm. So you can't have it both ways.
Well, it's an interesting point you raised, Michael. One of the things, too, is and I think it's Matthew Schmitz. I don't agree with everything in here, but I think he makes some important points. And one of the things is that big corporate interests that are secular and progressive, woke capital, as he calls them, you know what they're really interested in? They're not interested in gays or Christians or gay Christians or this conversation at all. You know what they're interested in? Stability. They want you to be docile. They want you to be docile. They want us all to be docile. They want to buy you off and shut you up so there is stability. And this is a point I think that Schmitz is making that I do agree with, that capitalism is not a religion, it's an economic system. And
100%, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Thanks for the call,
Yeah,
Michael.
thanks, Carly.
Appreciate it. The other Mike. We had Michael from the north side. This is Mike from the north side.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. You know, you can't explain to these stupid liberals, so I'll just try to give you an example. Once a month at my church, they take a collection up. You bring toiletries and food and products for poor families. You load it in a truck. One person drives it over and delivers it. If it was a government program, there'd be 18 people. There would be people talking to the press. There would be superintendents. There would be inspectors. And half the stuff would disappear. It would never go to the poor people. Even President Kennedy, the liberals' great lion, said, if you want to help a poor person, give it to the church. Give it to your church. Give it to any church. Just don't give it to the government.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. I mean, that's right. the Beatitudes are all about private action, not tithing to the state. Greg in Schaumburg.
I think the immigration issue is really directly related to this when these people were advocating that there are no borders anymore. And that's kind of related to the theory that there's a world law that is above and beyond our U.S. Constitution. It's kind of all rolled into one.
Okay. I mean, I think there's something to that, particularly the populist critique of globalization that generated so much enthusiasm for Trump. I mean, Trump is at his core a populist, and I think what Schmitz is pointing to has sort of has populist appeal across party lines because it's really class. And not that we have classes in this country, but it's socioeconomic and it's cultural, and there is a real divide. And I think the idea that the divide is between sort of the managerial set, generally speaking, versus blue-collar working Americans versus people who take their faith seriously, I think that is a divide. And
I do too.
It's not easily bridged.
I do too, Dan, but what I was just saying is that I think it's showing up on many, many fronts, as the Alinsky stuff always does, in order to get a middle where they want it to be moved.
Yeah, well, I think that's right. Thanks for the call, Greg.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Amazon stock passing $900 billion in market cap, and European air traffic controllers causing bottlenecks, and the PC police are after children's menus in Baltimore. Those stories next.
Even though the 4th is behind us, every July is our Independence Month. Become a patriot and declare your independence from big mobile companies. Break free from Big Mobile's hidden fees, line charges, and complicated pricing with Patriot Mobile, where pricing is simple and straightforward. Patriot Mobile also covers your switching and installment fees as a contract credit, up to $1,500 per account when you join. And each Patriot's bill contributes vital donations to conservative organizations that fight for our freedom. This month, enjoy a new Motorola E4 or an E4 Plus smartphone for only $4 a month. Save over 40% on a terrific water-resistant phone. Offer only available while supplies last. Make the switch today by calling 1-800-A-PATRIOT or by visiting patriotmobile.com. That's 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com. Be a patriot. Switch and make conservative change every time you use your cell phone. Patriot Mobile, your new cellular resource for patriotism.
The International Air Transport Association says air traffic control agencies in Europe are seeking more profits rather than investing to improve performance, leading to bottlenecks and delays at airports all across the continent. Economic reports today include the weekly jobless claims, the index of leading economic indicators, and a business outlook from the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. Restaurants in Baltimore can no longer include sugary drinks or sodas on kids' menus. The politically correct law dictating that milk, water, or 100% fruit juice are the only drinks allowed. Baltimore, the first major city on the East Coast to adopt these stiff requirements. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
I know your kids aren't thinking about it right now, but you may be wondering where you're going to send your kids off to school this fall. And many of you wanted to send your kids to private school, but you couldn't afford it. Well, we want to remind you about halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find a tuition voucher for private schools at half off the normal price. There is no catch. It's simple. Go online. You'll see schools, Midwestern Christian Academy in Chicago. There's Kankakee Trinity Academy in Kankakee, of all places. Calvin Christian School in South Holland. The list goes on and on. But do not wait. These vouchers sell out every year. And summer won't last forever. And school will be starting again before you know it. So visit halfpriceschools.com today. Again, some of these vouchers have already sold out. So do not wait. halfpriceschools.com.
Tasty Catering is bringing outdoor happiness to you and your coworkers this picnic season.
Down-home barbecue, street tacos, sausages and sandwiches, steaks, chops, fish, Greek feasts, pig roasts, The list goes on.
Tasty Catering picnic foods are more deliciously sophisticated than ever. With so many great options, everyone will be happy.
Organic, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, and dairy-free options never tasted so picnicky.
And your picnic doesn't stop with amazing freshly grilled food. Entertainment, rentals, decor, venue selection. Get everything you need with one single call to Tasty Catering.
Inflatables and crafts for the kids, games and athletics for the teenagers, beverage packages and entertainment options for the adults. There's so much to choose from.
The best company picnics start at tastycatering.com. View picnic menus, entertainment options, picnic spots, and more. Visit tastycatering.com. tastycatering.com.
We're Sound Income Strategies, and baby boomers who work with us know the secret to a great retirement is our middle name, Income. At Sound Income Strategies, we transform high-fee, high-taxed retirement spend-down schemes into sustained retirement income. And we can do the same for you. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
It's time to get off the Wall Street roller coaster, stop the retirement spend-down schemes, and join the income generation. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. Sound Income Strategies. The secret to a great retirement is our middle name.
Call 866-913-1234.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For many folks, Obamacare isn't working. Carriers are dropping coverage, copays are skyrocketing, and penalties for not enrolling are growing. Add to that the hassle of dealing with claims issues and out-of-network roadblocks, and it's easy to see why so many Americans are turning to a different option called health sharing. Full healthcare plans that are saving families thousands a year and without the hassle. But with so many health sharing plans available, how do you find the right one? Easy. At Health Markets. Their free service does all the work searching nationwide health share providers for the plan that's right for your needs and budget. With health sharing, there's no enrollment deadlines, high premiums, or soaring out-of-pocket costs. And they're exempt from the sky-high penalties of the Affordable Care Act. Want a plan with the doctors you love and get coverage for dental and vision? Health Markets can help. Health Markets has helped people enroll in over 3 million plans, and they can help you. Their service is free, so call to learn about all the benefits and savings of health sharing. Call 800-292-7796. That's 800-292-7796. 800-292-7796.
AM 560. The
Answer. President Trump's first press secretary, Sean Spicer, has a new book coming out. It's called The Briefing, and in the book, he reveals what really happened behind the scenes during some of the most headline-grabbing moments of the campaign and the first year of the Trump administration. And Sean Spicer is coming to Chicago for an event that AM 560 is proudly hosting. It's happening on Wednesday, August 8th at the Museum of Broadcast Communications on State Street. It's being presented by healthinsurancementors.com. And the cost of the event, well, it is absolutely free, but tickets are limited and you must register to get yours. Here's what you do. Go to 560theanswer.com/briefing. That's 560theanswer.com/briefing and sign up. But right now you can call and win a pair of those free tickets. Dan, what number? Caller number what? To see Sean Spicer on August 8th.
5.
Caller 5 to 312-733-6993. That's 312-733-6993. And good luck. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Coming up next is Mike Gallagher. 7:07.
And later, why nudists love Twitter. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
A massive fire tears through a condo complex. Drivers cited after crashing into a police vehicle on Chicago's west side. A serial stowaway released on electronic monitoring. And the Cubs get started in the second half hosting the Cardinals. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
The fake media is going crazy. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump's tweeted that several times about the Russia coverage. He told CBS last night he does blame Vladimir Putin for 2016 meddling.
Because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country.
The president also says he told Russia's president to stop interfering, and that's the way it's going to be. Putin has just commented on their summit. Fox's Simon Owen, monitoring live from London.
Dave, Vladimir Putin calling his meeting with President Trump a great success and echoing the president's complaints about American critics. Putin saying forces in the U.S. are trying to prevent any improvement in U.S.-Russia relations, particularly on cooperation in Syria and arms control. Putin telling Russian diplomats that relations are in some way worse than they were during the Cold War, but that Monday's meeting could be the first step on the path to positive change. Dave?
Simon, police in Hawaii keep searching for the man who shot a police officer at a traffic stop, the first cop ever killed on the Big Island. Facebook's CEO is clarifying much criticized comments that while Holocaust deniers offend him, he wouldn't ban their content from his site. Now Mark Zuckerberg says if fact-checkers rate something false, it would lose distribution. This says Facebook also tries to police posts that could spark violence. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
Dave, this comes after criticism of how Facebook has handled rumors and false stories on its platform, and after the Facebook-owned messaging service WhatsApp allowed false reports to circulate on its service after deadly attacks on people mistakenly accused of kidnapping kids in India. Facebook says it will rely on local organizations to decide whether specific posts have fake information and could escalate into something worse. So, who are these local partners and what's the criteria for becoming one? Well, that's still being decided, Dave.
Tell you, 10 years in prison. That's the sentence for a man in Tennessee who left his gun out in the open in a Nashville apartment last year. A 2-year-old found it, accidentally shot and killed a 7-year-old girl. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Sunshine, 69 degrees. 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A former Chicago Roman Catholic priest deemed to be a sexually violent person on Wednesday was ordered committed indefinitely to an Illinois facility for sex offenders. Daniel McCormack will be confined in that detention facility in Rushville, where he has been incarcerated since 2009. Hundreds are without a home after a massive fire tore through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights.
Whatever I have on now, plus this, that's all I have. That's all I have.
Cause of that blaze that destroyed 3 buildings at River Trails condos is under investigation. A driver facing a major citation after crashing into a police vehicle on Chicago's west side. Vehicle slammed into a police vehicle with lights activated last night in the 100 block of South Damon Avenue. The Illinois DCFS investigating a Chicago shelter that housed children separated from their parents at the Mexican border. The agency says it has launched a probe of the Heartland Alliance following allegations of abuse and neglect. A so-called serial stowaway no longer in custody while she awaits trial. A Cook County judge yesterday saying that Marilyn Hartman is fit to stand trial and allowed her to be released to a treatment facility with an ankle monitor. Cubs return from the All-Star break tonight with the opener of a long series with the rival Cardinals. White Sox have to wait another day to get back on the diamond, and the Bears veterans report to training camp later today. Rookies have been there for a few days. The news, a service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, their grief is unique, but you are not alone. MAD is here to help. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MAD-HELP. Visit mad.org, madd.org. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
As press secretary for President Trump, Sean Spicer had a front row seat to history. And in his new book, he reveals details about what really happened behind the scenes during the campaign and the early days of the administration. On Wednesday, August 8th, Sean Spicer is coming to Chicago. Meet Sean Spicer and get a copy of his new book, The Briefing, at the Museum of Broadcast Communications. Tickets are absolutely free. Thanks to healthinsurancementors.com. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/briefing. That's 560theanswer.com/briefing.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event. And now, while selection is best, it's the best time to buy. With amazing offers across a full lineup of Ford vehicles, now is the time to make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Stop by a local Ford store or shop online at buyfordnow.com, because there is no better time than right now to get behind the wheel of a new Ford during the Ford Summer Sales Event. The Ford Summer Sales Event is here. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on the 2018 EcoSport. Best-selling claim based on 2017 calendar year sales. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 60 months at $1,667 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 7/31/18. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and details.
7:05. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Dominic Fortini.
Good morning. Inbound side of the Edens, 23 minutes in from Lake Cook. The inbound side of the Kennedy now 40 minutes in from O'Hare. Delays begin Cumberland through the junction, then again at Irving Park. It's only 22 in from the junction. Outbound Kennedy a tad slow from Ohio to Sayre. 24 minutes downtown to Montrose. 44 though out to O'Hare. Inbound Ike an hour in from Thorndale. 37 on the outbound trip. Heavy traffic on the inbound Stevenson begins right about Harlem. You're jammed in through Pulaski, an hour 8 in from 355, 55 in from the Tri-State outbound, slowing up between California and Central. Inbound Ryan looking at 35 minutes, 95th in at downtown. Locals back up near 31st. Watch for delays on the inbound side of the Bishop Ford. It's tied up between 111th and the Ryan. Some hang-ups northbound Lakeshore Drive, Stevenson through Grant Park. While on the northbound side of the Tri-State, roads filling in between 88 and Irving Park. Northbound 355 a tad slow at Findlay. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, some sunshine giving way to clouds. High 83. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm. Low 69. Breezy and a bit more humid tomorrow with a mix of clouds, couple of showers, and a thunderstorm. During the day with a high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 69. Next news at 7:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The question is this: are we seeing the limits this week of Trump's decision first, details later, art of the deal approach to politics? Are we seeing the limits of it? Or, from the press conference forward, is President Trump purposely triggering leftist hysteria that we've seen? The leftist hysteria, the Russian Manchurian candidate conspiracy theories, the soccer ball with the listening devices, and all the other conjecture from the left. Conjecture's polite. Is he intentionally triggering that to his political and policy advantage? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line, while also restating his commitment to his own very good foreign policy team, as he did again yesterday in a sit-down with Jeff Glor from CBS.
You say you agree with U.S. intelligence that Russia meddled in the election in 2016.
Yeah, and I've said that before, Jeff. I have said that numerous times before. And I would say that that is true, yeah.
But you haven't condemned Putin specifically. Do you hold him personally responsible?
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
And you know the kind of reaction it's getting. I mean, when I said comparisons to 9/11, I'm not kidding. Listen to Richard Blumenthal, Dick Blumenthal from Connecticut.
So what are you going to do about this? You brought up the translator. Or do you think Republicans will actually allow a subpoena to be issued to get the translator to testify before Congress to say what went on behind closed doors?
Well, that is a key question, John. And my answer is that Republicans have a historic responsibility, as do all of us, because the red light is flashing, as the Director of National Security, Dan Coats, put it, much as it was before 9/11. We are in a 9/11 national emergency.
Oh, my God.
And not only that, not only is the red light flashing, most importantly, Jim Comey is watching us.
Oh, he is.
Jim Comey is watching us right now.
History is watching us.
And
is history your friend, Dan?
All who believe in this country's values must vote for Democrats this fall. Otherwise, you're a godless communist. Like our next guest, Mike Gallagher. He is the host of the Mike Gallagher Show, of course, that follows us weekdays 9 to 11 on these airwaves. Mike Gallagher, please don't tell us you're going to disappoint Jim Comey.
Listen, I haven't been able to sleep since I saw his tweets because I'm very concerned. I thought if anybody needs a voice in this, it's Jim Comey. The book tour, he's over to Kmart over in Piqua, Ohio, and he's selling some books. And he decided, the sales are a little down. Let me get back into the spotlight. Let me inject myself into this. I mean, honest to goodness, guys, can you really picture a former FBI director acting like a field office director for the Democrat Party of the East Wing or something? I mean, it's the craziest thing, from Brennan and his unhinged rantings to Comey and Clapper. What a shock that Trump stood in Russia and is a little bit wary of his own intelligence community, because there are still plenty of holdovers from the Obama era who are in the intelligence community, and this is a president who doesn't forget. So, I can't imagine anybody really, this is the typical feigned outrage from the media. Oh my gosh, he doesn't really have a lot of faith in the intelligence community. Now, having said that, he gets back, he sees the blowback. He tells Jeff Glor from CBS, I sat down with Putin. I was very strong. I told him no meddling. We're not going to tolerate meddling. I know he was meddling, but they don't believe him. They're not going to. I mean, you hear all these analogies. If he learned how to walk on water, they'd say it's because he doesn't know how to swim. I mean, there's never going to get any. He's never going to receive any credit from the howler monkeys in the mainstream press, and even some Republicans who hate the guy with such a passion that they abandon their own conservative principles just so they can try to tear him down. Here's a little ditty. Here's a little tiny little factoid that never Trump Republicans might want to consider. This week, the Senate Republicans have broken the all-time record on presidential picks for the appeals court judges. They voted senators 50 to 49 vote. Andrew Oldham, he's going to be a judge on the Fifth Circuit. That makes him Trump's 23rd Circuit Court judge confirmed. That's a record. It's the most ever in the first 2 years of a presidency, which, of course, as we all know, will shape the direction of the U.S. court system for decades. Now, maybe we ought to get more excitable about whether he said no or would or wouldn't or shoulda or tomato or tomato. But I kind of like the makeup of the courts. I kind of like the way the Supreme Court is going to continue to look. And incidentally, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg or maybe even Clarence Thomas step down and you start seeing
Clarence Thomas,
that's the buzz.
How dare you? How dare you?
I know. Well, God forbid. But
I refuse to entertain that.
I'm hearing that. No, I hate to even get those words out in the universe, but that's been some buzz for a few weeks now that he's considering it. But I mean, just think of what this Supreme Court is going to look like with even 2 more years, or hopefully 6 more years of a Republican president. So it's just another day in paradise for these guys. They're not going to believe him anyway. Watching these crazy reporters in the press briefing yesterday, screeching out of turn, April Ryan trying to, once and for all, will somebody tell me why the White House feels obligated to give the people who are going to misbehave in that White House press briefing a credential. Yet not everybody gets to walk in off the street and sit in that small room and ask questions. Get somebody else from American Urban Network if this is going to turn into the April Ryan show every afternoon.
Well, what did she? I didn't see the whole thing. What did she do that was so upsetting?
So Sarah Sanders is calling on different people, and, as is her wont, she calls on who she wants to. Well, April's sitting over there seething and starts screeching out something about voter disenfranchisement. Wasn't even anything that they were talking about. And you're not going to call on me, so I'm going to call on you. Starts bellowing at her. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Then
They're great foils, though. They're great foils.
It's great TV. I mean, it's must-see TV, and it's fun to watch and listen to on the radio. And it's and Sarah Sanders, holy cow, what job won't she be able to do after she leaves the White House?
Yeah. Well, I wonder what restaurants she could eat at later.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, I know. There's one restaurant that I don't think they're going to have an opening for, but she's a tough cookie, and it's interesting to watch the left react to her too. They loathe her too. I mean, they just hate her. They just think she is, the devil personified. And there's just a lot of anger and a lot of hate. On our side, we just have to try to be consistent and unified and recognize things that matter, as the late Charles Krauthammer would say.
Well, let's go to things that matter then. And I kind of started the segment. I want to get to your response to the question I posed, because Daniel Henninger has an interesting piece in the Wall Street Journal about this. This is the art of the deal, ? And he essentially argues that, I'll recite his words here, past some point of complexity, such as the global supply chain or North Korea's nuclear program, decision first and strategy later degrades into deadlock, or what may be worse, happy talk, which in times erodes credibility. Are we seeing the limits of Trump's approach in the international arena on trade, on North Korea, on Russia? Or, as Angelo Codevilla argues in American at amgreatness.com, Codevilla, of course, who coined the term ruling class that has become popularized, said basically that Trump's performance at that press conference was A+, and the journalist who asked him that question that he had to restate his answer to the day after was out of bounds. Where are we?
I'm not sure the question was out of bounds, but I do know we've seen a president whose actions often don't line up with his words. In other words, he says something at a press event. I kind of believe he's the ultimate troll, either on Twitter or even at press events.
The ultimate troll.
The ultimate. He's just trying to get under their skin, and it works. I mean, I think he sits back. Listen, I've been with him a few times since he became president, and to sit in a room with him, guys, he doesn't have a care in the world. He doesn't give two hoots about upsetting CNN. He doesn't.
Sure.
No,
I believe that.
I mean, because if it was any of us, you guys are pretty tough. But in my case, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed because I'd think, man, how much more can I take? He thrives on this, so it doesn't seem to impact him on a personal level. I think he's got a game going where when he's one-on-one with reporters, he says things, and then the actions often don't meet the rhetoric, and we're seeing that with with North Korea. There were mixed messages about what was going to happen with North Korea. It's a verifiable fact that we've been a lot tougher on Russia than the previous administration was. Everybody knows that.
I mean, we haven't lightened up on sanctions. There's a whole list of things that President Trump has not done.
Sarah read that list yesterday, and it's even longer than the list we all typically refer to. So, and much more significant than Barack Obama's list. So, this guy he's a showman. He gets up on stage, even when he's standing next to Putin. He knows the world is watching, and he's going to say things
and Jim Comey.
Yeah.
Jim Comey's watching too.
Yeah, Jim Comey, and he may tweet. I mean, I'm worried about. I just am praying. I got my eye glued on his Twitter feed to see if he says something that tells me what I should do next week. Since he's going to tell me how to vote in November, so I can be a patriot. This really highly regarded. He wasn't disgraced or fired or anything. I mean, he really has a lot. He has a lot to say. And Brennan, this poor guy.
Very thoughtful. Thoughtful, measured individual.
Yeah, not too over the top.
He's so angry. Honestly, I call him madman. I mean, he looks like he's angry all the time.
But Dan and Amy, that's what I wonder so much about, and I can say this even about some of our dear friends close to home. I get that you can say I don't like what the president, his press conference in Helsinki. I get it. You could say, okay, I wish he'd have said this. And there were a lot of moments during the campaign where I said, I wish he would have worded it this way. But to go from preferring he used better language or a better answer to he's a traitor and he's guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, never support him again. I don't know how you make that leap. I honest to goodness, I don't. It's that personality nature. It's just very personal for some of these folks.
Well, yeah, Mike, you're a sporting fellow. I know this.
Yes,
and
sir.
we want to give Democrats a chance in November. We want this to be fun. We want them to be able to participate and put their best foot forward. So we've been working all morning, and maybe you can help us out a little bit.
With our new slogan.
Yeah, they unveiled, House Democrats unveiled their slogan for the midterms, and it's an upgrade from their previous one, which was Better Deal. Now their slogan is For the People.
Oh, for the people?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, and then
Michelle
yeah,
Obama has a new
voter initiative.
registration initiative with Tom Hanks and Faith Hill.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that is
When we all vote.
When we all vote.
So
When we all vote.
So
I
we got,
like that.
We got Better Deal for the people when we all vote. If you kind of combine this ransom note, you can kind of do. So.
And in Chicago, thanks to your alderman Maya Pawar, you have free money for all. I love universal basic income. I mean, that's a real winning formula.
He's
Let's
my
just
alderman.
give free money for all.
I think you got it. I think you just hit it for their slogan. Free money for all. That's
free
the
money
slogan.
for all. Although it's not really free money for all because we're the ones that are going to have to pay, but somebody's going to get $500 a month to buy on liquor and strip clubs, and whatever else they want to spend their money on. Because after all, that's the Democratic Party of 2018. Honest to goodness, the face of the Democrats of 2018. This is right up their alley. When I read that this guy got all kinds of backing from Chicago politicians to provide 1,000 families with a $500 monthly stipend, no questions asked. There it is, free money, just free money. This is a vote for a Democrat. You get $500 maybe.
Free money.
Free
money as the 2018 slogan. I like that.
It's like the Price is Right. It's like the Price is Right, Chicago style.
It's succinct. It's substantive.
Yeah,
it's reflective of their philosophy. That covers a lot of bases.
Entitlement. You got the entitlement box checked. I mean, this is they're onto something there. We need to just do that. Just start writing money. Just writing checks.
Send me money in
You should shoot that over to Tom Perez and have you guys workshop that.
Yeah, the only problem is we're laughing and we're joking, but you know what? I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of them, as you've seen this Democrat socialist 28-year-old in New York who, this poor girl, I mean, don't ask her about Israel. Please don't ask her about capitalism because what a bizarro world answer. But she's going to win. She's going to be the congresswoman from the Bronx in New York.
I think we should actually amend the Constitution so that because she won't be 35 in 2020, so she can run for president.
Listen, if she can give free money for all, I'm in because I could use the $500. I've got some trips planned. I want to do some stuff. I want to I got to get some more clothes. I'm ready. I'm in. I'm voting for Ocasio. Free money.
He is Mike Gallagher. He's coined the 2018 Dem midterm slogan, and he'll have more of his rhetorical stylings at 9 a.m. today. Mike Gallagher, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Dan and Amy. Keep it up. Keep fighting the good fight.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
I want to be one of those families that gets $500 a month.
Why don't you call your alderman?
I should. You know what? Guess what? After 4 years.
Why don't you be your alderman?
After 4 years, I'm finally getting that cracked sidewalk fixed.
Congratulations.
I file a complaint all the time. I need this fixed. People are falling down, broken bones. Put in whatever you can. Finally.
Things are looking up in Lakeview.
Things are it's really coming together now. Plenty of sunshine, as you can see, to greet you on this fine Thursday morning. A high of 83 degrees. Then tonight, a shower or thunderstorm, a low of 69. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, a little more humid. We do have a chance of a shower and thunderstorm, hence the humidity. And a high in the upper 70s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Dominic Fortini in for Jim Telemonte.
Outbound Eden's heavier than the inbound side, looking at 29 minutes from the junction out to Lake Cook. Inbound Kennedy, 40 in from O'Hare, 22 in from Montrose, 18 in the inbound express lanes. The locals are hung up at Irving Park, outbound side of the Kennedy, looking at 44 minutes downtown to O'Hare. A bulk of that delay comes between Ohio and the junction. Inbound Ike, an hour in from Thorndale, 42 in from Manheim on the outbound side. An earlier crash near Mill Road is causing some delays back into York. Schedule an hour 16 from the post office to Thorndale. Inbound Stevenson jamming up Harlem to Pulaski, a solid hour 8 in from 355. Inbound Ryan, 32 minutes 95th at downtown. Brake lights popping on right about 31st on the locals, 43rd in the express. Inbound Bishop Ford slowing from the Stony Island feeder into the Ryan. Heavier delays on the northbound side of Lakeshore cost of time between the Stevenson and Jackson. And northbound Tri-State struggles between Archer and 31st. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Turnkey IT knows that computer networks and all things IT are the vital heartbeat of any company. However, keeping up with hardware and software to hiring and managing IT staff can be costly and time-consuming, but there is a different solution. Now your business can have a full-time IT department for only $795 a month. That's what Turnkey IT's all-in small business package is for. You get world-class help desk, on-site and remote support, monitoring of network resources, 365 hosting, cloud backup, antivirus, and so much more, plus new hardware every 4 years. Hey, where can you hire a reliable and highly capable employee for less than $10,000 a year? You don't have to with Turnkey IT. From one person to 200 employees, it is easy and affordable with Turnkey IT. You run your business, and they'll handle the technical stuff. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Your local 1-hour heating and air conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-HOUR.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Looking for a fun summer vacation idea? Charlottesville in Albemarle County, Virginia is a short and easy trip with daily nonstop flights on 2 airlines from O'Hare. Tour the homes of former presidents Jefferson, Monroe, and Madison. Sip wine at one of the area's 30-plus wineries. Take a hike in Shenandoah National Park. Dine al fresco at one of the many farm-to-table restaurants, or stroll down one of the longest pedestrian malls in the country. Plan your trip today at visitcharlottesville.org.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When the Senate was debating cutting taxes, Senator Joe Donnelly told us this.
If they bring a good tax bill before me that helps middle-class families, count me in every time.
But how did Senator Donnelly actually vote? Listen to President Trump.
Joe Donnelly voted no on tax cuts.
The Trump tax cuts are working for Indiana. Middle-class families will receive a tax cut of more than $2,000. Thanks to tax cuts, Hoosier businesses are hiring, raising wages, and paying employee bonuses. But Senator Donnelly voted no. It's time for Joe Donnelly to change course on tax cuts. Call Senator Joe Donnelly, 202-224-4814. Tell him the Trump tax cuts are working and to vote yes on S2687 to make our tax reforms permanent. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I've got ankylosing spondylitis, which is a arthritic disease, calcification of the major joints and spine, and I just don't have the pain that I used to have. It's really kind of amazing. Balance of Nature has been an amazing product. I've recommended it to literally hundreds. I'm a pastor, and I've said, y'all just try it. Give it a month. Give it a try. And so hopefully they have. But it's an amazing product, and the neatest thing is when you first open up that bottle and you can smell the fruits and vegetables. Every time I open one, I just get a big kick out of that.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah, a little Price is Right theme music for Mike Gallagher's Free Money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good suggestion there from Mike.
Coming up on Chicago's
What were you
Morning
just talking to me about? What have I ever drank a what?
From a Boda. They're showing that on WGN News. A Boda. You know what a Boda is?
Yeah,
you
I
bring
know what
it
it
into
is.
a football game. It's a leather sack, and you put booze in it. Or,
I know what it is. It's cultural appropriation is what it is. You should be disgusted with yourself.
Didn't you ever sneak one into a Northwestern football game?
No, I would alternate between a martini glass and a tumbler because I'm civilized.
But the key is you have to clean out your Boda, because if you don't, it smells like feet. And you never drink out of that Boda again.
Thanks for that.
Those are the days at Iowa.
No.
Yeah.
Many
Maybe I'll
moons
bring in
ago.
my Boda that I got at a Sigma Chi frat party. Yeah, I'll bring in the Boda tomorrow. We can have some Boda.
Show and
Big
tell day
Boda
tomorrow.
Fridays, yes.
Yeah, very good.
It's like that Iowa Letterman's jacket or warm-up you had.
Yeah.
It probably
The Jeff
belonged to
Lowe
somebody. Yeah, it belonged to somebody else, right?
No, that's Sigma Chi
You
one. I
appropriated
earned that
that?
one. I danced my face off to get that Boda.
Please don't tell us anymore. Or remember, Mike, the bib that she got from that competitive eater she dated.
That's
Oh,
right.
Yeah. A lot of memories and memorabilia.
Yes. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, sorry to turn the tone on you, but a TED Talker says pedophilia is an unchangeable orientation just like heterosexuality. At
Ooh.
7:37.
And then later, why nudists love Twitter. Dan, tell me. But first, let's go into the newsroom.
Show
Here's-
you.
Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine and 71. Chance of showers and thunderstorms very late in the afternoon or early evening. This morning, MGM Resorts is clarifying its reasoning for a group of lawsuits against victims of the October 1st mass shooting at the Country Music Festival held near the MGM on the Las Vegas Strip. Attorney Craig Island represents the victims.
There's confusion by the victims. Now they are being sued by one of the largest companies in America for getting shot. They're just in disbelief and they're mad.
The company has issued a statement on Twitter saying it was simply asking for a change of venue from state to federal court in order to deal with lawsuits from victims quickly, fairly, and they say efficiently. President Trump says he holds Russian President Vladimir Putin responsible for meddling in 2016 and the election.
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
In an interview on CBS, the president claimed he was strong on the point of election interference. Californians will not vote on an initiative to divide California into 3 states. The Supreme Court there blocking Proposition 9 from appearing on the November ballot. The court cited significant questions about validity. Hundreds are without a home this morning after a fire tore through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights.
Whatever I have on now, plus this, that's all I have. That's all I have.
The woman there saying she lost everything after the blaze destroyed 3 buildings yesterday at the River Trails complex. Authorities have identified the 14-year-old killed in a drive-by shooting on the south side. Police say Tobias Robinson was standing in the street early yesterday when someone in a passing car fired the shots. There have been no arrests in that case. Plans in the works for a $5 billion development along the Chicago River on the city's north side. Local developer Sterling Bay unveiled details of its proposed Lincoln Yards project. The overhaul of a large section of the North Branch corridor includes hotels, apartments, condos, restaurants, sports, and entertainment venues. Cubs back from the All-Star break tonight, opening a long set with the rival Cardinals. Bears veterans reporting to training camp today. The news a service of Unbound.org. Right now, there's a girl in India who has dreams bigger than her village. Right now, there's an elder in Guatemala who dreams of a life of greater dignity and less loneliness. You can help change the future of one person in a single moment. Begin the change at Unbound.org. 7:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I am a Trump supporter.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Now, I am a Trump supporter who will freely criticize the president when I think he's done wrong. And done wrong can be sending out a stupid tweet, raising taxes, or supporting amnesty. It can be anything. It's the issues to me. And when President Trump does something that does not advance those issues, I'll call him out on it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
How's your breath? If you're not using TheraBreath, it might be bad. TheraBreath is guaranteed to give you fresh breath or your money back. Available at your local drugstore. Visit TheraBreath.com for coupons and locations.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Tom Goleb, Chief Financial Officer of Navitas Systems, a leader in the next generation of advanced battery technology and a customer of Signature Bank. A few years ago, I heard Signature Bank on an AM 560 radio ad, just as our previous commercial bank was being acquired. I knew Mick O'Rourke and Kevin Bastuga from a prior enterprise. I valued my relationship with them and the way they worked to earn my trust and my business. So I decided to give Signature Bank a call. They took the time to understand our early stage technology company that has its own set of challenges. Signature Bank took care of us, and now we are satisfied customers.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim Telemonti, here's Dominic Fortini.
Plenty of sunshine and plenty of delays across the Chicago area this morning. Outbound Edens, 29 minutes. Montrose out to Lake Cook. Inbound Kennedy, jamming in. Harlem into the Burn Circle now. 53 minutes in from O'Hare. 33 in from the Junction. 27, a better bet in the Inbound Express. Outbound delays from Ohio to Sayre on the west end. 32 minutes downtown to the Junction. 52 out to O'Hare. Double-digit delays inbound Ike from 25th into the Burn Circle. It's an hour in from Thorndale. Outbound looking at an hour 16 with jam-ups between Cicero and 25th. Slowdowns continue. Inbound Stevenson, an hour 6 in from 355. Inbound Ryan backing up at 31st in the local lanes. 32 minutes, 95th into downtown. Hang-ups on the inbound Bishop Ford from the Stony Island feeder into the Ryan. Northbound Lakeshore tied up between the Stevenson and Jackson through Grant Park. Northbound Tri-State heaviest between Archer and 31st, but also seeing some significant delays between 88th and Irving Park this morning. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine gives way to clouds today, high near 83. Currently 69. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
Get your free tickets to meet Sean Spicer in Chicago on August 8th. Go to 560theanswer.com/briefing.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And, these TED Talks are quite popular, right? Introduced us to a lot of interesting intellects over the years. And then sometimes you get somebody like this University of Würzburg medical student, Miriam Haney?
Yeah. I'm the name assassinator.
I don't know.
You're right, let me see. I'll assassinate.
Heine.
Heine?
Yeah.
Heine. Like your buttocks.
Okay. Well, this young woman began her
with the tiny Heine?
talk of pedophilia.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean? This was a talk.
Okay.
You don't think this is cultural
TED Talk?
relevance?
All right,
No, this is never going to. We're never going to try to mainstream, normalize pedophilia, right?
We can't do that. We're not doing that, right, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
I've met pedophilias.
She starts out with, as all sentimentalists do, with the anecdote, the tragic case of a young man named Jonas.
Let me tell you about Jonas. Jonas is 19 years old. He studies law in Munich. In his spare time, he likes to play soccer. Jonas has a secret which he thinks he cannot share with anyone, not even with his best friend or with his parents. He's just too afraid of anger, rejection, and repulsion. Jonas knows that he has to suppress his sexual drive for his entire life. And he also knows that there will never be a loving and fulfilling partnership that he can enter. Because Jonas is a pedophile.
Oh my God.
He's only attracted to female children between the ages of 6 and 12 years.
And
so he likes his girls prepubescent. This Jonah, why is she talking like this?
Well, that's her accent.
I know, but she's the cadence is very.
Yes.
Pick it up, sweetheart. Jeez.
She also had this rather jarring statement about pedophilia, as she, I guess the purpose was to give us a bigger, deeper, better understanding of pedophilia. She suggests that, of course, 99% of pedophiles are men, and that represents between 1 and 2% of the global male population, so that's about 16 million people. Bigger than more populous than the countries of, say, Italy or South Africa.
How many people?
16 million globally. So it's not something you can ignore, and she's right about that. It's not something that should be ignored. That's why we have
that should be incarcerated.
Incarceration, sex offender laws, and the like. But if it seems to me she wants to treat this as sort of a public health problem in the same way that guns are treated as a public health problem. She wants to suggest that this is an orientation, and so you're sort of beholden to this orientation, and one wonders if that would inhibit people from seeking or being forced, as the case may be, in the case of illegal conduct, forced into the kind of psychological help that they need to address this predatory instinct. Here's what this young woman had to say about pedophilia.
According to current research, pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality.
Oh.
No one chooses to be a pedophile. No one can cease being one. The difference between pedophilia and other sexual orientations is that living out this sexual orientation will end in a disaster.
Yeah, and
you cannot compare heterosexuality to being a pedophile.
She goes on to talk about this, as I said, sort of as a societal problem. She suggests that social isolation is one of the reasons that pedophiles act on instincts that they're trying to control, and that isolation also makes them fearful to express their inclination. So this, again, is sort of bring them into the fold. We shouldn't increase the sufferings of pedophiles by excluding them, by blaming and mocking them. Just like pedophiles, we're not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them, but it is our responsibility to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people.
No, we shouldn't. Because if you had a daughter, is it one of your imaginary hypothetical children a girl? Oh, no, you have 2 boys.
I have 2 boys, but I've I'm not sure I'm done having kids.
So you're leaving the door open.
The door's open.
So what if you had a daughter, and you think that you're comparing what they have is the same thing to being a heterosexual, and that we should accept their bad behavior?
You understand the poison of sentimentality, which is the basis of all left politics? That's what this was another manifestation of. You don't understand you collectively, people don't understand the deep, dark places this sentimental barbarism takes you. It takes you to statements like, just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them, but it's our responsibility to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles.
I have a negative feeling about pedophiles because they break the law and they take advantage of the young and the innocent.
Well, she of course would say, well, of course I covered that by saying that if it's only acting on it, but if they act on it, then that's a disaster, and child sexual abuse is never okay. Well, let me tell you something. I mean, we've talked about it on the show over the last couple of years. There have been pieces in left magazines like Slate trying to mainstream pedophilia because love is love, right? Isn't
what
that
did Mark Kirk say? We should love.
Life is all about who you love and who loves you back, and that's the only standard. Is it? Because that's where this standard brings you. I mean, you think, oh, this is crazy and this is salacious and profs being hysterical. Really? Last year, 2 years ago, did you think you'd see this story? Planet Fitness bans woman for refusing to share a locker room with transgender man. You think you'd hear that story? I don't think so. I mean, this is how fast it happens when you indulge the sentimental barbarians. I've said this before on the issue of marriage redefinition. Try to find a reference to gay marriage before 1995. Go ahead, check your little internet box there. Before 95. It was virtually non-existent. And 20 years later, it's not only the law of the land, it's mandatory celebration. And then it's on to the next thing. Your gender is whatever you say it is at any given moment, and so is your race, and so is every other identifying characteristic, and then intersectionality, and then something that is truly ghastly, predatory, unbelievably damaging. At the same time, we look at these scandals in the Catholic Church or the Chicago public school system or Michigan State, all those gymnasts that were profiled on the ESPYs last night.
Yeah, they received the Arthur Ashe Courage Award.
Right, so
hundreds of them were on stage.
So we're aghast at this, where we all kind of share the same moral indignation and outrage and incredulity. Penn State, but you have this insidious pseudo-intellectual class promulgating this poison, and we don't see it. We don't pay no attention. We think it's marginal, quackery. It's not. Ralph in Rantoul, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. First, a question: is she advocating acceptance, or is she merely making the statement that pedophiles don't change their behavior over time? Period.
She sort of soft pedals it. I mean, she's suggesting that the orientation is unchangeable, but it's all of our problem, and we need to be a more accepting, tolerant, respectful society so that they get the help they need, and so on and so forth.
Right. I mean, she could have stopped the statement right there, because it is true that pedophiles have one of the highest recidivism rates
They'll even admit it to you.
Of doing anything. And unfortunately, like many of us, we don't talk about this, but I mean, I have a best friend from college whose wife was violated from a very early age. She didn't find this out until after they were married. You can imagine that caused some problems. They're still together. It was her father. And unfortunately, also, I actually played a role in defending somebody from a pedophiles' opportunistic attacks. And that was something that I thought that it was going to drive somebody in my family to bring arms up and go take care of that pedophile.
Yeah, but,
you know, I mean,
but
there's
here-
a pederast that lives down the street from me.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I know, because I did a sexual offender thing. And what are you going to do except watch them?
Well,
and beware?
yeah, but here's the thing. When you start saying things like it's a natural condition, it's an unchangeable orientation.
Perversion.
She made it sound like he's the victim, is
Yeah,
what
but-
she's doing. Like, we
well,
should have sympathy for him because look at this poor guy. He's living a life of secrets. He can't tell his friends or his parents.
Well,
gross.
right, that's the
Don't.
sentimentality of it. But it's the idea of essentially characterizing it as a natural condition. The next step is to say it's natural, it's unchangeable, it's acceptable. The next change is to mainstream NAMBLA. I mean, it really is.
Right, and I would argue that when she starts going down that sentimentality road, there's a different reason why he can't share this information with other people. Number one, because deep down he knows it's wrong, and number two, he'll be prosecuted for it. It's more of a preservation, survival instinct that he is in fact feeding, not the suppressing of the desire. I would say unless this is just completely made up and she's got this, straw man person she's putting together, that guy will end up doing something for which he should be prosecuted because
but that's the thing.
Until he fixes that, he's going to be a problem.
I think that she's arguing that being a pedophile is not a crime. That it should be an accepted condition and not a prosecutable condition.
Well, it's not prosecutable
unless
you act on it. But she's doing more than that. She's walking down this path to normalization, as I'm suggesting. Dave in Itasca.
Jonah is a pervert.
Okay, thanks for the call, Dave.
What was that?
That was him doing
talking like this.
Yeah, his impersonation
Thank
of her.
you very much.
Sean in Elmwood Park.
Hi, Sean.
First off, as a father of girls, how are you? This offends me on many, many levels. But what does it cost average to send a kid to college? 30 grand, 26 grand? And this is the dimwit that is influencing my kid? Did you listen to the buffoon? Now, here's the thing she touches on a nugget. She's exactly right. The recidivism rate is almost 100%. But why does the left, why do these socialists hate children? Whether it's normalizing the murder and the dismemberment of them in abortion, or it's normalizing the sexual abuse, why do they hate the kids? And here's the beauty of growing up in Melrose Park. We didn't have pedophiles. We had missing people, because that's what people do. You touch the kid, I don't call the police. I think someone is touching my kid.
Yeah.
You call the police on me to dust the crucifix in the forest, because that's what it's going to take.
Okay.
Everybody wants to turn to a magic man.
Yeah.
Help me, save me. I'm not kidding you. I
Okay.
got a creep in
Okay.
next door to me.
Vigilante justice. Just remember how it turned out in Mystic River. You make sure you get the right guy. Thanks for the call, Sean.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I like you.
I like you, my dear.
America is falling in love with Mr. Rogers again. Entertainment Weekly raves. It's the movie we need right now.
Fred's theology was love your neighbor and love yourself. It was a communication right into their hearts.
Mr. Rogers' faith has inspired us all.
Thank you for whatever you do to bring joy and faith to our world today.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now in theaters everywhere.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. I love to barbecue, but there's nothing worse than running out of propane in the midst of cooking. It's all about being prepared, and that's how we look at your retirement planning.
Absolutely. That's why our whole team at Wealth Management Group is fired up about helping you be ready.
Tune in each week as we discuss practical ways to be ready for your retirement.
Find us at investwithwmg.com and pick Wealth Management Group to be your +1 this summer. Listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
My name is Lauren Sullivan, and I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 9 years ago, and I was severely disabled. And about 6 years ago, my mother had found Balance of Nature, so we decided to give it a try because at that point, nothing was helping. I was skeptical at first, but over time I realized I had more energy levels. I was sleeping better, which was huge, and my hair looked better, my skin looked better, my nails looked better, and then I was able to weed off some of those medications. And I know, had I not found Balance of Nature, I would not be living the quality of life that I am now.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Building owners and managers. Now is the perfect time of year for a service and maintenance agreement with Waukegan Roofing. Since 1914, Waukegan Roofing has been installing and maintaining roofs you can rely on for all of Chicagoland. Our experienced team of professional service technicians is the right solution for preserving the integrity of your new or existing roofing system for years to come. With your dedicated service technician and our multi-point inspection program, we cover all areas of your roof from early detection to preventative maintenance to repairs and everything in between. We're the licensed commercial roofing contractor you can rely on for all your roofing needs. Building owners and managers, now is the time to prepare your low-slope commercial roof for everything that Mother Nature throws at it this year. Call Waukegan Roofing today for your service and maintenance appointment at 877-ROOF-201. That's 877-ROOF-201. Or visit us online at waukeganroofing.com. Waukegan Roofing, installing roofs you can rely on since 1914.
Illinois licensee 104000761.
We're Sound Income Strategies, and baby boomers who work with us know the secret to a great retirement is our middle name, Income. At Sound Income Strategies, we transform high-fee, high-taxed retirement spend-down schemes into sustained retirement income. And we can do the same for you. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
It's time to get off the Wall Street roller coaster, stop the retirement spend-down schemes, and join the income generation. For your free, no-obligation income kit,
call 866-913-1234. That's 866-913-1234.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. Sound Income Strategies. The secret to a great retirement is our middle name.
Call 866-913-1234.
AM 560, The Answer.
So we're trying to help the Democrats liven up their recently unveiled midterm campaign slogan, For the People. Quickly, Bob and Lyle, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, that's true. Think about that for a minute. It was Abraham Lincoln that said government by the people, for the people. So they're stealing a presidential slogan from a Republican.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, and I'm almost positive because I Googled it too.
Oh, boy.
You can trademark a slogan, and for the people is I believe a protected trademark by Morgan & Morgan. They're a huge lawyer group in Florida and I think other states too.
Thanks for the call, Bob. Appreciate it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, another "Don't you know who I am" moment. But first, here's Mike Scott.
A massive fire tears through a condo complex in Prospect Heights. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
Vladimir Putin agrees with President Trump. It was a successful summit. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and Russia's leader says they're on the path to a positive change in U.S.-Russia relations. However,
we will see how things develop further because certain forces in America try to minimize the results of the meeting in Helsinki.
Now, President Trump's been ranting against the fake media on Twitter for reckless coverage of Russia the morning after saying he did confront Putin at the summit. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
President Trump, in an interview with CBS News, said that he agrees with the U.S. intelligence community that Russia meddled in the 2016 presidential election and that he would indeed hold Russian President Vladimir Putin responsible for the interference.
Certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
The president also tweeting this morning, the fake news media wants so badly to see a major confrontation with Russia, even a confrontation that could lead to war. He continued, they are pushing so recklessly hard and hate the fact that I'll probably have a good relationship with Putin. Dave?
John, Democrats do not believe the clarification the president made to what he said at the summit, believing Putin's denials.
This notion that he somehow slipped on a word and we took a whole press conference wrong, it was much more than that.
Senator Dick Durbin and other Democrats keep calling for congressional hearings into the summit. The Republican head of the House Intelligence Committee, Devin Nunes, says the FBI and Justice Department want Democrats to win back control of Congress.
The people at the leadership, they are banking on a loss by the Republicans in the fall.
Nunes says they hope that shuts down current Republican investigations. An explosion this morning at the Letterkenny Army Depot in Pennsylvania. 3 people were injured. How badly, we don't know. The Army has just said it's not anything suspicious related to terror. This the day after 22 soldiers were injured when a tent collapsed at Fort Hunter Liggett in California. 4 had to be hospitalized. The cause? Wind generated by an Army helicopter. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunshine in Chicago, 71 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer, good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Hundreds are without a home this morning, being tended to by several charity organizations, including the Red Cross, after a massive fire blazed through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights.
Whatever I have on now, plus this, that's all I have. That's all I have.
It happened at the River Trails condominium complex. The cause remains under investigation. Authorities have identified a 14-year-old boy killed in a drive-by shooting on the south side. Tobias Robinson was standing on the street on South Winchester Avenue when someone in a passing car fired the shots. A suburban couple stands accused of locking up their 10-year-old daughter in the basement since the beginning of the year. Randy and Catherine Swopes were arrested and charged with child endangerment and unlawful restraint. Parents told them they held their daughter captive. They believe she was possessed by a demon. The girl was forced to use a training toilet for a bathroom and a bucket to shower. A so-called serial stowaway is no longer in custody while she awaits trial. Cook County judge ruled yesterday that Marilyn Hartman is fit to stand trial. She allowed Hartman to be released to a treatment facility, but she must wear an ankle monitor. Cubs return home from the All-Star break tonight, and they get back to work with a 5-game set against the rival Cardinals at Wrigley Field. White Sox wait until tomorrow to get back on the diamond in Seattle. Bears veterans are reporting to Bourbonnais training camp today. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, the Justice Department wants to step up its appeal of the decision that allowed AT&T to buy Time Warner Inc. The government opposed the deal, but the judge hearing the case dismissed those concerns. The two companies have closed their merger, but still are keeping some units separate until the legal issues are settled. Japan's Kobe Steel has been indicted by prosecutors in Tokyo, accused of false inspections on products shipped to airplane makers, car companies, and nuclear power plants. No safety problems have been detected. Europe's Ryanair is canceling up to 300 flights in the middle of next week because of a planned pilot strike. The airline is contacting 50,000 passengers to give them time to reschedule or receive a refund. The pilots are demanding improved pay and working conditions. The Dow was up 79 yesterday. NASDAQ dropped a fraction. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder sees an even tougher time getting Trump appointees confirmed.
Scott Pruitt has resigned. At some point, there's going to have to be a new EPA head, and that person's going to have to go before Congress and get approved, and it's going to be very, very difficult, given now Democrats have seen that Donald Trump was serious when he talked about rolling back these regulations. The left is scared to death of Scott Pruitt and scared to death of the possibility somebody may carry on his work.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event. And now, while selection is best, it's the best time to buy. With amazing offers across a full lineup of Ford vehicles, now is the time to make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Stop by a local Ford store or shop online at buyfordnow.com, because there is no better time than right now to get behind the wheel of a new Ford during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Ford Summer Sales Event is here. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash on a great lineup of Ford SUVs. Best-selling claim based on 2017 calendar year sales. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $1,389 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Not available on Expedition. For all offers, take new retail delivery from authorized Ford dealer stock by 7/31/18. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and details.
It is 8:06, and let's get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Power outage in Hanover Park keeps traffic lights out. Greenbrook between County Farm and Lake, also Greenbrook at Arlington, and County Farm and Stearns suffering the same fate. Outbound Edens, 36 minutes from Montrose out to Lake Cook, while the inbound Kennedy backs up Central into Washington. 50 minutes in from O'Hare, 36 in from the junction, 38 in the inbound express lanes. Outbound Kennedy, 53 minutes downtown out to O'Hare. Hang-ups begin at Division through Canfield on the west end. Inbound Ike, 58 in from Thorndale, while the inbound Stevenson, very slow Harlem to Kedzie. Still an hour 8 in from 355. Outbound, we got a stalled vehicle in the center lane near LaGrange. Inbound Ryan now 35 minutes in from 95th with delays beginning at 35th. Southbound side of the Tri-State seeing some extensive delays in between 90 and the O'Hare Oasis as well. Traffic is a service of Compassion International. For just 5 quarters a day, you can sponsor a child through Compassion International. It's pocket change to you. It's life-changing for a child in need. Be part of the change. Become a sponsor now at compassion.com/radio. That's compassion.com/radio. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Increasing cloudiness throughout the day today with a high 83, then turning out to be a mostly cloudy night. We'll have a shower or a thunderstorm with a low of 69. Showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow, high 78. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
69 at O'Hare, 72 along the lakefront. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So President Trump continues to deal with the fallout from his post-Putin presser and the hysteria on the left, the call for hearings and whistling in the translator to tell us everything that all of the national secrets Trump so clearly must have conveyed to his Russian operator Putin during their sit-down. Trump talking to CBS News, Jeff Glor, yesterday, and here's what he said to Glor that he said to Putin about interfering with our elections.
We're not going to have it, and that's the way it's going to be.
But he denies it, so if you believe U.S. intelligence agencies, is Putin lying to you?
I don't want to get into whether or not he's lying. I can only say that I do have confidence in our intelligence agencies as currently constituted. I think that Dan Coats is excellent. I think that Gina is excellent. I think we have excellent people in the agencies, and when they tell me something, it means a lot.
Something that one wishes the president would have said in the moment at that press conference, but that's more of his backpedaling. But the real question, Amy, of course, is
what?
That soccer ball.
Yeah. What's in the soccer ball? Huh?
Oh, what's in the ball? What's in the soccer ball? Soccer ball. What is in that soccer ball that Putin gave
that
Trump?
There might be a taping or some kind of recording device inside that soccer ball. Don't kick it too hard.
The Daily Beast went into some detail about how a listening device could easily be embedded in the stitching of the soccer ball.
And I suggested that they give that soccer ball to the kids in Thailand who just got out of the cave. That would be a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Kick this around, kids.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Did I just wink at you?
Here, if Trump is Putin's Manchurian candidate, if he's Staff Sergeant Raymond Shaw, then why would you need to embed a listening device in a soccer ball? You already have him. You've already flipped President Trump. Why would you need the soccer ball? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see how the plot doesn't hold up?
Maybe he just took it from the World Cup game.
I think
France beat Croatia 4-2.
I think the Democrats need better spy novelists writing their stuff, is my point. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Steve Cortez, CNN political commentator and former Trump Hispanic Advisory Council boss. Steve, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. So are you concerned about Putin operating Trump, having a man in the Oval Office, and should there be hearings and ultimately, obviously, a trial for treason?
Right. Well, if you listen to mainstream media, you would think that Trump gave Alaska back to Russia the other day with Putin. But look, I said this last night on CNN, and I really believe it. I think that this whole Trump is compromised / Russian agent, / Manchurian candidate, this whole theme of that he is beholden to Russia somehow has become the birtherism of the left. And I really believe that. And it's just as silly. It's just as loony. Rather than talk about, here are the reasons this man that we don't trust got elected, and here's why we lost. The right did this. The Alex Jones of the world did this during President Obama's era. Instead of focusing on his policies and why he was in a policy sense incorrect, they tried to delegitimize his candidacy and his legitimacy as president by saying he wasn't born here. That was just silliness and lunacy. We see now the same thing on the left with this Russia theme.
So you're saying that
they still haven't gotten over 2016. They have to concoct and make up a reason why he wasn't legitimate in the first place, and he didn't really win. It was only because of this Russian interference that he won.
So do you think that President Trump was born in Kenya? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Is that what I'm hearing?
No, and listen, look, I'll be the
first
to obviously admit President Trump went down that road as that private citizen Trump, a birther, and that was nonsense. He did disavow it during the campaign. It was good that he did. So you can come back from this. He became the president of the United States. I would advise the left, let go of this absolute Russian fairy tale. You lost the election because you lost blue collar workers in the Midwest. That's the reality, not because of the Russians. Moscow, Idaho matters a lot more to most Americans than Moscow, Russia.
Yeah, but do you think that President Trump was kissing his butt a little too much? I mean, Putin seemed to control everything. He was an hour late, which I thought was a sign of disrespect. But I don't know. During that press conference, too, it just...
ball he brought.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had an uncomfortable feeling watching it.
I wrote about this on Real Clear Politics. I don't always defend the president, even though I'm a staunch advocate of his in general. I thought he was far too deferential. I thought it was one of the only times him not command the scene. It looked to me and a lot of this is just optics and style, not so much substance, but still that matters. It didn't seem like he was in charge, and I thought he was way too deferential to President Putin. I'll be the first to say that. Now, in his defense, it was the end of a very arduous week in Europe, most of which was highly contentious. So, I think we have to sort of give him a pass if, he earned a mulligan on having perhaps an off day. But it was an off day, in my opinion.
Well,
and I agree. And I want him to appear stronger. I think he has been totally strong on substance in terms of policy. And I mentioned this also last night on CNN. Chris Cuomo really pressed me about, tell me something he's done that shows strength against Russia. So I'll tell you one thing is, for the first time that I know of, at least in the history of, since the USSR, we just in the battlefield in Syria slaughtered hundreds of Russian troops, of Russian mercenaries, so effectively Russian troops in Syria. That is not a sign of weakness. That is not a sign of, we are beholden to you in any way. And I don't happen to love our intervention in Syria, but putting that aside, the fact is American armed forces just really laid it to Russian armed forces in Syria. That is not the action of somebody who is scared or beholden, or somehow compromised by Russia.
That's true. Dan Hendra has an interesting piece in Wall Street Journal. He talks about Trump's approach in these areas. Trump insisted on these one-on-one meetings with China's Xi and North Korea's Kim and Russia's Putin. Now that he's had that, maybe he needs to go back to the basis that has provided some of his great successes domestically when it comes to things like picking Supreme Court justices or cutting taxes. And that's lean on the experts and the personnel that he's put around him. And in this case, since he's again expressed yesterday confidence in his national security team, Pompeo and Mattis and Bolton and Haspel, lean on these individuals when it comes to the policy making and even the communication about the policy making in the international arena.
Right. Again, I think that's a good point. I think that he and it's interesting. So you mentioned Xi and Kim and now Putin. In all three of those cases, in dealing with despotic leaders, and all three of them are, his approach has been to lavish praise on them publicly, but then I believe in terms of policy, take a very iron-fisted approach. So he's kind of taken the Teddy Roosevelt view of speak softly but carry a big stick. And I think for the most part, it's been very effective. In this case, I think he missed the mark again, with President Putin, not so much in policy, of course, but in optics and for the American domestic political audience. So I think your point is well taken. Mike Pompeo in particular, I think is perhaps his best asset in the entire cabinet. I would love to see his role elevated publicly. And would it have been better to have Mike Pompeo in that meeting and then have his, Russian counterpart, I think it's Lavrov, in that meeting and have it be the four of them? I think that would have been a good thing. And going forward, probably a good thing from there. Yeah, so I think you make a great point.
All right, he is Steve Cortez, CNN political commentator, regularly matches wits, well, more than matches wits, with the likes of Chris Cuomo. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, another don't you know who I am moments, and it actually worked. But first, here's your forecast. Some sunshine, obviously right now, sunny skies, but high clouds rolling through here later this afternoon, a high of 83 degrees. Tonight, we have a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, a low of 69. And for your Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, more humid, showers and thunderstorms in the area, and a high in the upper 70s. Let's get right into the Alarm Detection Center. Traffic Center, Dominic Fortini in for Jim Telemonte.
Heavy delays as we roll through the heart of our morning rush on the outbound Edens, 36 minutes. Montrose out to Lake Cook. Inbound Kennedy jamming in between Central and Washington. 50 in from O'Hare, 36 in from the junction, slower in the inbound express lanes. Outbound Kennedy hung up Division to Canfield, 53 minutes downtown out to O'Hare. Ike in, hung up at Laramie, 58 minutes in from Thorndale, an hour 15 though on the outbound ride as traffic jams up Austin through St. Charles. Plenty of slowdowns on the inbound Stevenson. Pretty delayed between Harlem and Kedzie, an hour 8 in from 355. Still the center lane blocked outbound near LaGrange with a stall. Inbound Ryan, 35 in from 95th with delays on the inbound side of the Bishop Ford, costing you time right near Cottage Grove. Traffic's a service of Positive Coaching Alliance. Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Are you a realtor wanting to learn how buyers of the largest and most affluent segment of the real estate market are utilizing reverse mortgage loans to purchase new homes? Are you at least 61 and a half years old and interested in downsizing into a home with all the amenities you want but don't think you can afford? Do you want to learn how your clients can extend their retirement assets by purchasing a home with a reverse mortgage loan? Do you want to get all your reverse mortgage loan questions answered by a local reverse mortgage loan expert? If you said yes to any of these questions, then I strongly encourage you to join local media legend Orrin Samuelson at Team Hochberg's free reverse mortgage loan seminar. It's at Del Webb in Huntley on Friday, July 27th from 3 to 5 p.m. The seminar is free and refreshments from Jameson Steakhouse will be served. To register for this free reverse mortgage loan seminar on Friday, July 27th at Del Webb in Huntley, go to reversedavid.com. That's reversedavid.com. Pearl Mortgage, equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgages licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186.
What I suffer from is anxiety, along with depression. But I feel the anxiety triggers depression more times than not. My first experience with HPR was my initial interview. It was welcoming. It felt very good. I saw results pretty much immediately. Even after my first treatment, I felt different than when I came in. I think HPR could work for pretty much anyone. I think that what HPR has done for me was awaken a part of my brain that either stopped working or never worked. I think everybody can benefit from HPR. I'm Alex, and HPR Treatments has helped save my life.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When the Senate was debating cutting taxes, Senator Joe Donnelly told us this.
If they bring a good tax bill before me that helps middle-class families, count me in every time.
But how did Senator Donnelly actually vote? Listen to President Trump.
Joe Donnelly voted no on tax cuts.
The Trump tax cuts are working for Indiana. Middle-class families will receive a tax cut of more than $2,000. Thanks to tax cuts, Hoosier businesses are hiring, raising wages, and paying employee bonuses. But Senator Donnelly voted no. It's time for Joe Donnelly to change course on tax cuts. Call Senator Joe Donnelly, 202-224-4814. Tell him the Trump tax cuts are working and to vote yes on S2687 to make our tax reforms permanent. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
Your daughter's wedding is one of the proudest moments of your life, a moment you and your family will treasure for the rest of your lives. As the months of planning start to unfold and you get closer to the special day, things can get a bit hectic. So many important details. To capture these once-in-a-lifetime memories and not have to worry about anything but the celebration, trust Artland Photography for every precious moment. At Artland Photography, it's all about you. No matter what your style, their photographers have the skill and experience to capture the moments quickly and stay out of the way. They'll make it easy to enjoy all of the smiles, laughter, and tears to enjoy for generations. Visit them at artland.com, where you can see their amazing work and outstanding reviews for yourself. Plus, learn about a special limited time offer. You'll know why Artland Photography has been Wedding Wire's couple's choice for the last 5 years. They also shoot everything from major corporate events to business and family portraits. Visit artland.com. It's all about you.
Attend the Lake County Right to Life Annual Benefit Banquet, Friday, July 27th from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Doubletree by Hilton in Mundelein. Mary Holland Fiorito from the Ethics and Public Policy Center is the featured speaker. Her presentation, Religious Liberty, How It Weaves Through Our Lifetime, will tackle controversy and current events as she examines the social and political environment of abortion. So many critics of the pro-life position complain that abortion is a women's rights issue. Mary makes it clear that abortion is a human issue. Religious liberty is under attack, and the 45-year-old Roe v. Wade decision still keeps abortion legal, yet there are many reasons for hope. Hear Mary at the Lake County Right to Life Benefit Banquet at the Doubletree Hotel on Route 83 in Mundelein, Friday, July 27th from 6 to 10 p.m. Seating is free of charge, however, contributions will be requested to support Lake County Right to Life. For reservations, call 847-223-7022 or visit lcrtl.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Dan, I think I found your twin.
Kindred spirit, at least.
Yes. Arizona State Rep Paul Mosley. He's been in office for about a year, Republican. He lives in Lake Havasu, so he has to, drive when legislature is in session from Lake Havasu all the way to Phoenix. And he got caught speeding. He was going, 97 and a 55, but that's nothing compared to what he normally does.
130 earlier, you said?
Yeah, I go 130, 140, 120. Yeah, I come down, I was going 120 almost. If there was no traffic.
Wait, who would admit that to a law enforcement officer? 97 officer, that's nothing. I go 140, 120, 130.
Just being honest, having a conversation with a guy.
Oh, yeah,
Well.
And probably trying to get out of the ticket, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't break the law because I can, but because
I just enjoy it.
Just trying to get home 130.
Well.
Okay. Well, your logic is flawed for me. I see too many accidents.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
oh, really,
speed
officer?
causes accidents.
No.
Yeah, it
Oh,
does.
really, officer? How many accidents have you seen because you had some dingbat who faded into the other lane, into another lane, or because you're doing 50 in the left lane and you're backing up traffic and you're causing people to change lanes and they're darting in and out to get around some slowpoke in the left lane?
You're
How many of those
defending
have you
him.
seen? How many of those have you seen, officer? If you are a real police officer.
Why? I know why you're defending him, because you do the same thing. Your fast, fancy car there and your fancy friends.
That was
you
a good one.
go,
That was a good.
What do you go, 140 normally?
I-
110? You've blown by me in my minivan, where my minivan shakes. I'm left in the dust behind you on 90.
Well, I'm sort of strafing you. I'm trying to kind of force you off the road. No,
it's my show. Get off the road.
I like the argument. Look, I was only the 97. I'm normally doing like 130, so 97 is not a big deal. Let's just keep it between us.
Well, he wanted to keep it between us, but he also had a point, because he is a state rep.
Yeah.
And because legislature was in session, due to immunity as a government official, he wasn't given a ticket. I had no idea. So the officer let him go because, according to Arizona law, members of the legislature shall not be subject to any civil process while the legislature is in session.
Yeah, that's right.
And now people online are demanding that the law be changed.
Same thing in Illinois. That's
What?
why they have the state plates. That's why you see the legislative plates. Yeah. Same thing here.
How long has that BS law been
Since
on the books?
1818.
Oh, and they're in their horse carriages?
Yeah, exactly. They had state plates then, too. Yeah.
Gotta get to
Let him
Springfield.
go, Lou. Someone going that fast has no time for a ticket.
Exactly. Why don't people take the Chief Wiggum approach? Why don't more police officers take the Chief Wiggum approach on that?
Oh, that
It
is-
must be in a hurry. Let's leave that guy alone. Exactly.
So I think we should change the law, not only in Arizona,
Why
we
should-
should have an online petition to change it here.
Why change the law?
Because
These are our
lawmakers should not
betters.
have that asset also.
Excuse
They
me.
can go faster.
These are our betters. They're doing the people's business. They are representing our interests.
Oh, my gosh.
You want to hold Mike Madigan or John Cullerton up from getting down to Springfield to do their good deeds?
Mike Madigan doesn't drive. He is the governor's plane at Midway. He just has one of his drivers take him to Midway. Then they fly him to Springfield. They fly him.
Well,
he's too good
what
to
about
drive.
what about all of the other wonderful
Well, if you
legislators
behave,
we have
if you
that
behave,
do drive?
you can get on the plane. There's 12 seats. So
What
if-
about that there's 177 members of the
Yeah,
General
it's-
Assembly. What about the ones who
They
drive? They're all
should drive
treasures.
They should drive responsibly and safely. There's no need to go 140
Oh, really?
miles per hour.
Well,
My car can't even go past 90.
65. How do you know 65 is the safest speed? Give me the evidentiary support for it.
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, they say if you drive slower, you have less accidents.
Sure, if you're standing still
Place
in
said
your
that.
driveway, you're much less likely to be in an accident. Well, what kind of sense does that make? This is the whole. You want to eliminate accidents on the road? Do you? Okay. 5 mile an hour speed limits and a police officer every mile, and hammering everybody. So it'll take 4 hours to go 15 miles. But hey, everybody will be safe, no accidents. We make these trade-offs between safety and convenience, safety and quality of life all the time, and it's only the demagogue politician or even sometimes police officer who doesn't understand that or pretends they don't. We do it all the
Okay.
time.
Fine.
So just live with it and get out of my way
Get out of the
and
left
out
lane.
of the left lane.
Yes, we do agree on that. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to a friend, president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University, Dr. Everett Piper, about how happy he is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez didn't go to Oklahoma Wesleyan.
And then later, why nudists love Twitter. I promise we're going to get to it. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
We have sunshine this morning, 71 degrees. President Trump says he wants to have a good relationship with Vladimir Putin. But this morning on Twitter, saying the fake news media wants so badly to see a major confrontation, even a confrontation, he says, that could lead to war. A new poll finds fewer than a third of Americans approve of President Trump's handling of this week's summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It is a CBS News poll out this morning. 32% surveyed say they approve of that performance. 55% in that survey say they disapprove. Nearly 24 soldiers are recovering after they were hurt when a tent collapsed at an Army base along the central California coast at Fort Hunter Liggett. An out-of-control wildfire in Oregon turning deadly. The substation fire has burned 45,000 acres near the Dalles in northern Oregon. One person was killed trying to build a fire line with a tractor against that wildfire. Hundreds in the Chicago area without a home after being made homeless by a massive fire. It tore through a condominium complex in Prospect Heights yesterday afternoon. 3 buildings were destroyed at the River Trails condo complex. A 5-year-old girl is dead after being struck by a car in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. The incident happened yesterday as a driver was pulling into a driveway near 26th and Karloff. A candidate for Chicago mayor getting a surprise endorsement. Former Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy getting the backing of community activist Andrew Holmes. He's often seen at crime scenes working as a crisis counselor. Cubs return from the All-Star break tonight with the opener of a long set against the rival Cardinals at Wrigley. White Sox have another day off, and they're back on the diamond in Seattle tomorrow night. Bears veterans reporting to Bourbonnais in training camp today. The news, a service of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. You can help put an end to Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis by joining the Team Challenge, Crohn's and Colitis Foundation's endurance training program. Run, walk, cycle, hike, or complete a triathlon and get closer to the ultimate finish line. Cures. Visit ccteamchallenge.org to learn more. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees a rocky future for the Dems.
The way the Democrats are behaving right now, they're going to drive people right into the arms of the Republican Party, and the Democrats are not going to take the House. I mean, really, come on. Can we be real? Do today's Democrats want to be socialists across the board? Well, if they do, okay. There's a lot more of us than there are of them.
Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know. The credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people, they're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
8:35. Check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Dominic Fertini.
Problems continue on the outbound Edens, 34 minutes from Montrose to Lake Cook. Also seeing some issues on the inbound Kennedy this morning. Plenty of people in that left lane slowing things down. Montrose into Randolph, 55 in from O'Hare, 45 in from the junction. Express lanes at 42 minutes. Outbound delays North Avenue through Harlem, 54 minutes downtown out to O'Hare. Double-digit slowdowns continue on the inbound Ike, an hour 4 in from Thorndale. Inbound Stevenson, solid from Harlem to Kedzie. It's an hour 5 in from 355. Watch for the stalled vehicle outbound near LaGrange. Inbound Ryan, 32 in from 95th. Also hang-ups left over on the northbound side of Lakeshore Drive from the Stevenson through Grant Park. Plenty busy on the northbound side of the Tri-State this morning between 95th and 31st. Also delays between 88 and Irving Park. Northbound 355, a tad slow between Finley and North Avenue. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sunshine will give way to clouds by the afternoon. We could see a shower or thunderstorm by the early evening. 83 this afternoon, 69 overnight. Currently 71. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and we're not done hearing from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that is. AOC.
AOC, okay.
A to the O to the C. She, we talked about some of her musings on Middle East policy as she's going to be a member of Congress come January. She also held forth on the performance of the economy at present and how some of the good unemployment numbers, growth numbers, are quite misleading. Boston University grad Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Now, the economy is going pretty strong, right? There's roughly 4% unemployment, 3.9% unemployment. Do you think that capitalism has failed to deliver for working class Americans, or is no longer the best vehicle for working class Americans?
Well, I think the numbers that you just talked about is part of the problem, right? Because we look at these figures and we say, oh, unemployment is low, everything is fine, right? Well, unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs. Unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their kids. And so I do think that right now, when we have this no holds barred, Wild West hyper-capitalism, what that means is profit at any cost. Capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world.
And it's those kind of Leninist answers that pushed Joe Lieberman to pen an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal we discussed yesterday, and to appear with Charles Payne on Fox Business yesterday to offer his perspective on what the profile of one Ocasio-Cortez means for the Dems.
And if her win makes her into what Kellyanne Conway called the new face of the Democratic Party is not going to have a very bright future.
But if only she would have gone to Oklahoma Wesleyan University, if only. But then she wouldn't be the future of the Democratic Party because she probably wouldn't be a Democrat. Dr. Everett Piper, the president of the aforesaid Oklahoma Wesleyan University, also the author of Not a Daycare, The Devastating Consequences of Abandoning the Truth, joins us now. Dr. Piper, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
So what about, though, the celebration of socialism and most of the energy, if it's not from a septuagenarian from Vermont, it's coming from young people and including on college campuses?
Well, frankly, there's reason to be worried. You all have seen the data. You've probably reported on it, where when you ask the millennial generation what they think of capitalism versus socialism, over 50% of them favor socialism. So what she's saying is a parroting of what her generation apparently believes in right now. Now, can we hope and pray that as they get older, they'll get smarter? Yes, but do we know that for a fact? Well, we don't yet. So again, it's clear evidence that what you teach in the classroom is going to be practiced in culture. And what this woman has been taught is that capitalism is bad and evil and that socialism is the solution, completely ignoring the facts. And talk about setting up a straw man argument where she argues that 60, 70, 80% of the American public is working 60, 70, 80%. No, what she said is that everybody is working 60, 70, 80% or 80 hours a week. Excuse me. Well, where's the evidence for that? Where is the evidence that people are actually working 80 hours a week and therefore are being taken advantage of by capitalism? I can tell you the millennials that I know are making decisions, personal decisions, to make $35,000 a year working in a coffee shop rather than getting involved in a meaningful career that will actually move them up the ladder so that they can be more financially successful in life. And they're happy with that. They want to have their lattes and they want to have their free time and they want to live in their cool little bungalows in the inner city right now, making $35,000 a year rather than getting engaged in moving up the ladder. Now, that's their decision. It's not mine. It's their decision, and I can tell you for a fact they're not working 80 hours a week because they wouldn't have time to enjoy their little urban lifestyle if they were.
Is she the future of the Democratic Party?
Well, yes. I'm going to be more skeptical here. Joe Lieberman knows more than I do about the Democratic Party. There's no question here. But I do believe that there is a risk that the millennial generation is going to embrace this imbibe this Kool-Aid, and this is going to be the message of the Democratic Party. Now, will the American public be smart enough to reject it? I pray and I hope so. But right now, we see the generation that's following us in the majority agreeing with this woman, even though the facts, quote unquote, the facts that she just presented are not empirical. It's just emotion. It's just feelings. There's nothing behind what she's saying that is provable. But they believe this because they're making decisions based on feelings rather than facts. They haven't been educated properly to have a critical mind to analyze these things.
I wanted to talk about the quality of our speech beyond the campus and just, since I guess the whole country's a college campus now, as some have said, the public discourse more generally. President Obama was in South Africa earlier this week, and he decried how social media is being used for ill ends and shrill ends, and of course it's just a communication channel, so it's just reflective of the quality of discourse generally. Mark Zuckerberg was taking a little bit of heat for an interview he did yesterday in which he talked about sort of what Facebook's policies are for how they deal with fake news or quote unquote hateful speech or just things that are flat out wrong. And he tried to distinguish between saying something that is wrong and that's okay because, being the arbiter of right and wrong, versus saying threatening language, a overture to attack somebody physically or something like that, which is more of a bright line. But he suggested that he would even sort of tolerate Holocaust deniers spewing their ignorance online because it's, even though it's offensive, he says, I don't believe our platform should take it down because I think there are things that different people get wrong. I don't think they're getting it intentionally getting wrong, but I think it's sometimes hard to impute intent and understand intent. So sort of implicit in that, even as ham-handed as he said it, is the idea that that marketplace of ideas will flesh out the quality arguments from the ignorant rantings. And I just kind of wonder where you think discourse is going, generally speaking, both online and, in public.
Well, there's no question that there's an acerbic flavor to what's going on online. I think all of us have to discipline ourselves not to be caught up in that particular exchange because it's very easy and very tempting to be rude to somebody you can't see and someone you'll never meet. Don't all of us feel a temptation to do that at times when somebody crosses our path in Twitter or Facebook? I would go back to the Christian ethic. We need to treat others as we wish to be treated, and we need to attack ideas. We should never succumb to the temptation to attack people. Anytime somebody uses an ad hominem where they call someone else names rather than just address the fact that they disagree with their idea and give support for why you disagree, you've erred. And if that's what Zuckerberg is talking about, good for him. But I'm not too sure I trust this because I've seen how certain ideas are sequestered and silenced just because they're unpopular and not politically correct. They're not silenced because anybody's guilty of an ad hominem. I, for example, have been cited by the Human Rights Campaign and the Southern Poverty Law Center for being a hater simply because I support the traditional family and the nuclear family. Why does that make me hateful? So in other words, we've got to have an equal playing field here.
Well, we can't even use ad hominem against like John Brennan. Come on. There's got to be exceptions to that. What about Jim Comey?
Mr. Happy?
Come on.
Do you have to?
Well, I don't have to, but I really, really want to.
So how did you handle the Southern Law, or was it Southern Poverty Law Center's
well, it's just
accusation?
a left-wing front group.
No, I know, but did you respond to them, or how did you defend
Oh,
yourself?
yes. Oh, yes. They said that I was a hater because I spoke to a hate group. And they suggested that the World Congress for Families is a hate group simply because they support the nuclear family. A mom and a dad raising a child is a good idea. Seriously, that's what they stand for. And I spoke to Salt Lake City to some 3,000 people, and I supported that. I supported the nuclear family. That made me a hater. So I responded, and I said, your idea is very bad, SPLC, HRC, and here's why. I, in fact, did speak to a hate group last week, but it wasn't the World Congress for the Families. It was you, because you are so blinded by your agenda that you're hating those you claim are hateful. You're duplicitous in your language. You're saying you can't tolerate the intolerant, and you hate those hateful people, and you're sure that nothing is sure. You're sawing off the very branch upon which you sit. Your ideas are hypocritical and duplicitous, and therefore you need to stop calling people names, i.e. haters, when you yourselves are guilty of hate. Yes, I'm speaking to a hate group, and it's you.
That's a good response. I like that. And there wasn't even any name calling in it. And I guess you can do it. Okay. Let me ask you this, Dr. Piper. I want to get your take on this. I don't know if you saw this piece in First Things by Matthew Schmitz, Cultural Realpolitik. In it, he argues that the dynamic that Christians need to consider in modern politics is woke capital versus the working class. He writes, Christians should stand with the working class, which is more religious, more diverse, and more patriotic than the managerial elite. Only by reducing inequality and restraining corporations can Christians avoid being buried. Only by challenging the ideology of free markets and open borders can they advance their view of the common good. The struggle between woke capital and the working class will determine the outcome of the culture war. What do you think?
Liberation theology repackaged. There's nothing new under the sun. Every idea has been expressed before. This is just an old idea of liberation theology, of pitting us against them, of class warfare, of socialism and Marxism, repackaged with Christian language, which is what the left is very fond of doing and, frankly, very good at doing. They understand how to repackage their agenda with Christianese, if you will. But I completely reject it. What is wrong with arguing for the death definition of a country, i.e. a border? Why is that unchristian? What is wrong with arguing for personal responsibility rather than government largesse? Why is my argument unchristian? So deal with my argument. Don't throw out this straw man which suggests that I'm being less than Christ-like, less than Christian by supporting free enterprise rather than government solutions. There's nothing in the Bible that would suggest I'm wrong and he's right. So let's debate the ideas and let's go back to Scripture as the measuring rod outside of those things being measured so that we can do some measuring rather than his political agenda versus mine.
But I think what he's getting, though, too, because he's suggesting to challenge the ideology of open borders and free markets. I think it's more sort of a populist sort of almost neo-mercantilist position that Trump has taken, which is to say that our economic system is subject to the authority of our political system, and there needs to be some decisions made, sort of America first type decisions. I guess Matthew Schmitz would be saying Christian first decisions made that sometimes may compromise what the managerial set wants in terms of unfettered free markets and globalization. And is that a direction that Christians should consider?
Well, again, this is a complex discussion. If what you just said means this, that Christians should consider biblical ideas as their priority in discussing a political idea or engaging in a political debate, then I would argue yes. My worldview, my biblical worldview, my Christian worldview informs everything I'm going to say on your program or any place else, or what I'm going to write and what I'm going to think and how I'm going to engage. Yes, I agree with that. If he's suggesting that capitalism and open borders versus defined borders is more Christian, then I would disagree with that, and I'd like to ask him why.
Mm-hmm. All right. He is Dr. Everett Piper, president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Pick up his book, Not a Daycare, The Devastating Consequences of Abandoning Truth. Dr. Piper, thanks as always for being with us. Appreciate it.
Blessings, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
It's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications. So your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. 630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
My husband's blood pressure has dropped 30 points. I've lost 8 pounds. He's lost about 20 pounds. His arthritis is gone. You guys have given me back my husband. I'd come home from work, and if he beat me home from work, he would be laying in the recliner, and I would feed him supper in his recliner and would be like really boring, pathetic old people watching TV while we ate dinner and then go to bed exhausted and wake up tired. I came home from work last night, and he was mowing the lawn. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so amazing.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for upstream-ideas.com. You're welcome, America. And that's not a statement a resident of Illinois gets to make very often with sincerity. But the nation owes a debt of gratitude to two Illinoisans who advanced the cause of liberty for millions more Americans through their courage to dissent. Pam Harris and Mark Janis are their names. Pam is the mother of a young man with developmental disabilities who resisted SEIU's attempt to force parents of children with disabilities into its union, literally pitting parents against their children. Pam took her case all the way to the Supreme Court, which ruled in her favor in 2014. That set the table for Mark Janis, a child support specialist for the state of Illinois who challenged his forced membership in and financing of AFSCME. Mark took his case all the way to the Supreme Court, which ruled in his favor in June. Without Harris, there would have been no Janis. Without Janis, public sector workers in 22 states would still be second-class citizens with respect to their First Amendment rights. Courage begets courage. As I know them both, I can tell you what they would say about the history they've made. Don't worry about remembering our names. Focus instead on emulating our example.
Looking for a fun summer vacation idea? Charlottesville in Albemarle County, Virginia is a short and easy trip with daily nonstop flights on 2 airlines from O'Hare. Tour the homes of former presidents Jefferson, Monroe, and Madison. Sip wine at one of the area's 30-plus wineries. Take a hike in Shenandoah National Park. Dine al fresco at one of the many farm-to-table restaurants, or stroll down one of the longest pedestrian malls in the country. Plan your trip today at visitcharlottesville.org.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I like you.
I like you, my dear.
America is falling in love with Mr. Rogers again. Entertainment Weekly raves. It's the movie we need right now.
Fred's theology was love your neighbor and love yourself. It was a communication right into their hearts.
Mr. Rogers' faith has inspired us all.
Thank you for whatever you do to bring joy and faith to our world today.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now in theaters everywhere.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
AM 560, The Answer.
Amy, I know this story is going to interest you because you were part of a nudist colony in Mount Prospect as a young person,
A
right?
nudist lived in the house before us. So we bought the house from a nudist, yes.
That's why you bought it, to join that commune.
No, that's why there were so many 49 trees in the backyard because he wanted to lay out naked.
Sure,
and
well.
mirrors everywhere, even every room.
You know what? You could catch up with them on Twitter, I bet. Because it turns out that Twitter is the #1 social network for nudists.
Really?
You want to know why, don't you?
Why?
Let me tell you the story of Martin Belcher. Martin Belcher is a 50-year-old customer services advisor based in the UK. He joined Twitter in 2012. He's tweeted out thousands of naked photos of himself hiking, gardening, reading, eating, watering the lawn. Is that a metaphor? Has nearly 3,000 followers respond by favoriting, retweeting, and frequently sharing nude photos of their own.
Oh.
Belcher isn't a porn star or a spam account.
No, it's not. They're not.
They're not unsolicited photographs of his penis. Yeah. No. He's part of a thriving community of nudists on Twitter who flock to the platform because of other sites censoring or banning images of their beautiful naked bodies. Twitter is the main community for nudists, said Belcher. He estimates tens of thousands of nudists are active on Twitter, which is why I'm on. Twitter's terms of service ban.
Yeah?
Twitter's terms of service ban graphic nudity, but they do allow for full or partial nudity, including close-ups of genitals, buttocks, or breastises. And so, it's pretty freewheeling there. Belcher and his fellow nudists also a bit frustrated by how frequently online networks lump them in with sexualized content. In fact, the biggest thing they want from textiles, you know what textiles are? People who live in the clothes world.
Oh, yeah.
Is that nudism is about being comfortable in your own skin and accepting all human bodies, and that's just a lovely.
Well, I went to
lovely
Nudestock
sentiment.
once too. Nudestock.
No, I don't know.
I've heard. Oh, it's kind of like Woodside was a festival for 3 days, and everybody was naked. They're very nice. Nudists are very peaceful people. They're not trying to.
And it's not like they're hiding anything.
No, they aren't hiding anything.
So you were nude for 3 days at Nudestock?
Oh, I went for about 12 hours. And Kansas was performing, and he didn't know, the lead singer, I interviewed him, and he didn't know that it was a Nudestock. He thought it was like Woodstock. Like,
you ever seen a grown man naked?
Amy has.
I should share the video with you. I interviewed a lot. It was a fun piece.
Talk about dust in the wind.
And I did a satellite out of Wood TV, WOOD. Wood TV in Kalamazoo.
Nah, it's in Grand Rapids. It's not in Kalamazoo.
But it's in that market, so we rent
did
out
you-
their satellite truck, and it said Wood at it. Nudestock. It was great.
You
I
didn't
got wood.
You didn't run into Mike Scott there, did you?
No.
No, he just knows.
Oh,
All right, thanks for making us part of your morning. Here's Mike Scott.
WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.